it's all on purpose. They hate America. They're Satanists. They want to bring us down. It's all premeditated. Yes, 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 because it's the truth. And when you tell the public, oh, they're idiots. Oh, they don't know what they're doing. Oh, they're so incompetent. Yeah, their constituents are, but not the people running it. It's the exact same leftist New World Order, BlackRock, UNWEF program all over the frickin' world. It is a premeditated evil attack in their own damn words. They are villains. It's not like, oh, they're just misguided fools. No, this is on purpose, people. That's what the Great Reset is. They're doing it on purpose. It's on purpose, on purpose, on purpose, on.
I was hoping you had some of the Alex Jones ones. How is Alex?
He's great. He lost a lot of weight now.
I saw he's getting like, yeah, he's ready for the next
My friend
big.
Sean Johnson's training him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he gets up every morning. He works out for hours. I think he's lost 70 pounds at this point. He looks fantastic, man.
Yeah.
He looks fantastic. He looks like he's 20 years younger. People think, this is really funny because, his whole business is conspiracy theories.
And now, live from the Man Cave, Studio B, deep in the heart of constitutional Livingston County, Michigan, on a Tuesday night No Kings protest rant, with your co-hosts. He's so focused, even a kamikaze pilot is jealous. Wes Nakagiri. Joe Farkas, he knocked so many doors Forrest Gump couldn't keep up. Yours truly, Larry Parsons. This is My Brain. And now your host, the man that's more confused than a pregnant nun, Jeremy Scott Gibbs. No fake hate crimes were committed during this announcement, but Larry did offend several leftist wackos that think he's a walking hate crime.
Larry is a walking hate crime, and I'm sure there's many in the audience of whack jobs that would agree 100%. Testing. Make sure you can hear us out there, guys. Give us a little feedback in the chat.
What do you mean?
What do I mean?
Can you hear me?
No, I can't hear you on your mic. There it is. Is it there?
I don't know what's going on here.
Thanks for the water.
I don't see your microphone. Pull your microphone up higher.
Put my microphone up there?
Put it above that stitching. There we go. We're still on that
I can
shot.
hear you.
There we go.
How about that?
And then we got to go to the gay fish shot. And we'll do that. Come on, switch over. There we go.
Where's my dollar that I have coming?
How come I don't have
you know what?
How come I don't have a gay fish button?
We could work on that. So the way that works, Joe, is we have to wait about 3 months before that revenue actually. We got to submit our billing, and then it's got to transfer, and then it comes to fruition. And so, I could, if you really are hard up, I could front you the dollar.
Okay. For you, Jeremy, no interest. I don't need interest. but from
okay.
our
From
friend
anybody
who's
else?
providing the money.
What a
Look at that.
friend.
Out of
Wow.
interest.
Yeah, he's letting me off easy. Get that? I like that. Our cameras freak out there. Why? There we go. Oh, so Jeffrey Amayo's already chiming into the chat saying that Wes is afraid to run against him. He doesn't call you Wes, he calls you Wuss. What a jerk.
Run against him.
he
We're
said-
not even in the
dude,
same area.
Dude, he said he's going to strangle you with your ponytail. That's kind of aggressive.
It is.
Don't worry, he'll give us a super chat here shortly and pay you off.
Yeah, it's funny that Jeff Amayo, he shows up in our chat.
I still don't hear you, Larry. Is your thing on?
Should be.
It should be, but
Yes,
you...
it's on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
There it is.
you got to have the red button.
There, how's that?
No.
No. Yeah, we had you for a little bit, but
How about now?
Now.
Yes, yes.
Ah, there we go.
Yes. Yes. Well, welcome. Wes, it's been a while. I appreciate your courage and valor coming
Hard
back
work.
on the show.
It's hard work for the community.
A lot of people are afraid to come on this show. I mean, they do think it's
Well, they heard I
Quite
had
controversial.
they heard I had White Castle for lunch.
this is true.
Oh, by the way, you were bringing White Castle this week, I thought.
Yeah. No, instead he brought a pumpkin pie.
I brought a pumpkin pie
pumpkin
and whipped
pie.
cream instead.
He brought a pumpkin pie.
Yeah, Jeremy said.
was there
that-
enough to share?
It
Yes.
was, but
Ah.
he
I like
I don't know if he
Yes.
did.
Did I not?
Yeah, there's
offer-
enough to share, but is he going to share is another
Exactly.
question. It's a separate question.
Exactly.
Did I manage to miss telling you that, Wes?
He, you
Yeah,
know
look
what?
at that.
You know,
He has it down there, and I noticed. I was like, well, I was gonna wait till like midpoint of the show and maybe grab it
Yeah.
during the break, and then we'd come up here and have a bite together.
Yeah.
And Larry said no, and he went ahead and ate his
Yeah.
piece so that if he was sharing, he would get his first. He would not miss it.
yeah, but
I
I
had-
want to say I'm kind of put out by all this. First, my dollar is not here, and now I don't get
Pumpkin pie.
yeah, no, I don't
pie.
get
You know, when we go on
hamburgers.
break, we can definitely have pumpkin pie.
Definitely has some.
Because
pumpkin pie.
I bought a big one so everybody could have plenty.
And there's
is that a?
And there's whipped cream. Real.
real
It
whipped
says
cream.
on it.
Okay.
I
Real
would
whipped
say
cream.
just right off the
Okay.
bat, right at the start of the show, that is a very good suggestion, Larry, and to all those other people.
Yes.
And fuck you if you don't like it.
If people don't like it, well,
Wait a minute.
no, I fixed the buttons. We didn't cuss here. Nobody on the show cussed.
You got to stick it in the microphone.
You're a gay fish.
Oh, I remember this thing here. This is the F-bomb.
Yes. Yes.
Sometimes it is well used.
Yes.
By that I mean it's used very often.
Has anybody ever dropped that bomb in before the Board of Commissioners?
No, I don't recall that I've ever heard it. I'm not saying I can remember everything, but no, it's pretty civil, as far as the F-bomb goes.
Yeah.
It's if anybody's gonna
Yeah.
use that word, you gotta watch Jay Drick. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Jay.
Well, I
Totally
remember
kidding. I
going.
like Jay a
I
lot.
remember going to a Board of Commissioners meeting, and I'm sitting there, and I'm listening, and there's this lady speaking, and I'm not giving any names.
Oh.
But she's speaking, and she said something, and it was something about white supremacists in Livingston County, and I couldn't help it. Right, so I kind of choke laughed.
Mm-hmm.
She
that
turned around.
particular
I'm
person-
claiming my time. I'm
Yes.
claiming my time. And she's looking around behind her. I'm claiming my time. I want my time back.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I won't say, but
We
I
don't
know who
mention
you're talking
names.
about.
Yes. We have some special people in our community. Very, very special.
Yes, we do.
We do. So welcome, Wes. You've got some things to go over with us. We're going to get into that. But I made some burgers, some curly fries. It was a pretty good meal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
right?
yes,
That was,
they were great.
I specifically liked the pepper jack cheese on my burger.
That you brought.
Oh, yeah. What do you know about that? Magically
Dude, he
appeared
walks in with his own pack of cheese. I'm like, oh, my cheese isn't good enough For Larry.
Oh, your cheese is good, too, because it's
all
Kraft singles, too.
It's all good, buddy.
Yeah, it's
No,
all
I like
good.
it. And Wes chose to go with my cheese, so
Yeah.
I
did.
just
That's from my childhood.
Wes-
We had that all the time. All the
Yeah.
time.
I'm glad you're here tonight, Wes, because I'm tired of refereeing these two. So
Hey, for the audience out there, I did issue a warning between Wes and Joe not to. I separated them across the table, and I warned them not to get into it tonight. And they assured me they would be on their best behavior. We'll see.
Well,
see how it
that's
goes.
why he set us up across. This is the greatest
Exactly.
distance here.
Exactly. I was like,
like Fred Sand would say, I give you one of these.
we know how Joe likes to get into it.
Yeah.
Knock some doors, knock some heads.
Yeah,
Isn't
there
that
you
the
go.
isn't that the bumper sticker?
Yeah, I've had
Knock doors, knock heads.
guns
Yeah.
pointed at
Well-
me, and people tell me, you know what, I'm gonna punch you in your face, right in your face.
Have you had a gun pointed at you?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
The worst I ever had door knocking, I had almost got bit by a dog. It's like, but
Okay.
that's, that's not the owner's. Well, I guess maybe it is the owner's.
It is the owner's fault.
Door knocking, the worst. I had one lady come, and she's like, no, I don't agree. And that was, she was very nice.
Yeah. But that was it.
An older lady, but that's all she says, no, I don't agree.
And that's
No,
because
thank
you're
you.
not crude and rude like me.
So.
That's just
You
probably
crude
true.
and rude? That'll never happen.
Very rude, crude dude.
I've known you too long for that joke.
Yeah.
You brought my wife baklava.
Yes, I
Yes.
did.
You almost stole her from me.
Oh, I did. Well,
Look at that.
She still calls you baklava, man.
that's your.
How many years ago was that?
That'd be 3-4 years, I guess now.
Yeah, that's what she says. She still calls
So
you
Larry tells
baklava
me
man.
he's living on borrowed time.
I guess that would make that some very memorable baklava to remember.
It's my wife's favorite thing.
Oh,
She loves baklava.
Does she?
Yes, she does.
All right, so we're going to get into the show. I'm going to go over there and turn that fan off in a second because I can hear it. Joe's audio is low. Thank you, Dale. I was just messing with the audios. I appreciate you, buddy. Talk.
okay. Test.
Yeah, I was just messing with all the audios real quick because Wes's mic was a little hot.
Oh, okay.
It's not you, Wes. It's where we had it set for the previous person, which I think was Joe, who's now over here on a different microphone and was quiet again. So I had to crank him up, crank you down. You know,
You have all control though somewhere, right?
I do. I have ultimate control. Oh, I have the button for that. Thank you.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
Yes.
Don't be too proud of this technological terror you've constructed.
So now that the buttons is fixed, does that mean your mom is back to
Hell yeah.
read the disclaimer?
No, that's on there. Stop. I do have this one.
What they're doing is
No, that wasn't the one. What one is it?
He's like a mad scientist with this stuff.
Oh, it's right there.
and it creeps me the fuck out.
That's my mom. So no, we'll just we'll go through these manually and get them done with, and then we're going to dive into the meat of the show tonight. Let's see here. Wall disclaimer. Did I hit it right? Correct. All right. This notice this podcast is raw, unfiltered, politically incorrect. We say Merry Christmas and the Pledge of Allegiance, especially the part about one nation under God. We thank our troops for their service. Thanks to those in our audience and to Larry sitting at the table. Wes, you didn't serve, did you?
What?
Did you serve in the armed forces?
No, I did not.
I got to double check. Joe,
No, I did
yeah,
not.
yeah, because Joe's. Anyways, thanks to all our servicemen out there. We only recognize two genders. Dangle, no dangle. Check your equipment. If it's an innie or an outie, that should give you an indication of where you should go to the bathroom. As adults, we enjoy adult beverages. I appear to be the only elder statesman here. We cuss. We do not curse or swear. Look up the definition. I get really annoyed by people. Pardon my French. It's not French. It's Anglo-Saxon.
Don't you swear at me.
There's already been 2 sound bites tonight. If you haven't been warned, I don't know what I'm going to do with you. We love Jesus, but we hate religion and religious hypocrites. If this offends you, you can leave. And if you can read the screen, you know I soften that up for you a little bit. Let's see. Where am I going to start?
You know what he needs, Larry?
You know what?
A sound of heels walking across the floor. As he says, if you don't like it, leave.
Ooh, that's a good soundbite to grab.
Yeah.
It's a little better than this one. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for all the hard work that I do here. Appreciate that. Joe, let's go with this one for you. Scroll back up, dummy. There. Okay. And there.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Except for bears, bears will kill you.
Bears will kill you. Wes, Jefferson, Reagan, or...
Can I say one thing about the bear thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
If Larry and I were out in the woods and there was a bear, all I would have to be concerned about is staying about 30 feet ahead of Larry.
Exactly.
Right.
Thomas Paine, Jefferson, or Reagan? What would you like, Wes?
Let's do Jefferson.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, that is a good one, yes.
That's a good one.
Go ahead.
Okay. A government big enough to give you everything you want is big enough to take away everything you have. Thomas Jefferson. That's a great one.
Yeah, I love that one. I love that one.
That is a good one.
And I'll do a new one for Larry just to shake things up a little bit.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Very nice.
That's the Second Amendment. It was issued on December 15th, 1791, and it expires when Wes tells me I have to turn in my guns.
Yeah, that will not happen.
Yeah, so it never expires.
When you pry it from my cold, dead hands. All right, and all of us together do this one.
Never apologize and never explain. It's a sign of weakness.
And I think that people out here would do well, if you're watching, to understand that apologies do nothing with these monsters.
Very good.
Wow,
and we're
all
back.
the buttons are working.
All the buttons
It's
are
nice.
working.
Whoa.
I'm
No failures today.
Why you gotta say shit like that?
Were there failures last week?
Yeah. And now I'm gonna go over here in the.
I was talking about the buttons. Now all of a sudden, the computers probably heard me say that. Now they're getting ready.
Well, last week we had updates. Yeah, whatever. It's crazy. And I'm. What was the name of that? Your drive was. There we go. I got your drive. We're all queued up there, Wes. I'm hoping they click and play properly, but we'll do that. Our logic or our definition, logical fallacy, verse or quote of the day. I went with a quote. Another Mark Twain. A lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is putting on its shoes. Travel halfway around the world while while the truth is putting on its shoes.
I have a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Are you ready?
Yeah. Huh?
You can lead a liberal to an education, but you will never make one think.
Very nice, Larry.
Thank you.
You're a hate crime wizard.
Now ask me who said that.
You're a hate crime wizard.
You did.
I did.
That's what I said.
Nice.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice take on a.
I said that years ago on AOL, and it got quoted for a long time.
Did you get money?
No, nothing.
You got to monetize
No money.
that shit. You got to monetize that stuff. Come on, Larry. Haven't I taught you anything?
Oh, I tried.
All right. So that's good. What, Wes? Let's do. So you are 4th District Commissioner here in Livingston County. Before we dive into your expose real quick, do you have any other things on the county that you need to unburden yourself with and share with the good people of the audience out there?
Unburden myself. No,
He is unburdened by what has been.
I love Wes because I'll say crazy shit like that, and he'll go,
huh?
He'll catch every word, whereas I'll say it in front of other people, and they're like, I don't know if I do have anything to say. He went right for the unburdening word right there. We must unburden. what has been burdened so that we're then unburdened by what has been before that burdened our burdening.
Of the yellow school bus.
And
Kind of leaves you speechless, huh, Wes?
Yeah, I am speechless. I'm kind of like I'm burdened.
I'm burdened by the thought. It was stupid. All
I was telling Joe before we got started. You know, I just finished up last week my election inspector training. I'll be an election inspector in November in the city of Detroit. I've done that 2 other times. One was in November of last year, and then the other was in the primary for the mayoral primary in Detroit.
Okay.
And I'm excited about doing it a 3rd time because I got promoted. I'll be the guy at the computer, you know, checking people in.
Nice.
And so I tell you what, it was.
That's not the computer that gets hacked, right? That's a different.
Yeah, that's a different
I
one.
just double checked.
So it's.
So is that something you get paid for?
Oh yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, they City of Detroit pays $300. So you know I can be a poll
But
challenger.
how long are you there?
You know, I got to be there at 5:45, and I leave at probably around 9 by the time everything's done.
5:45 in the morning.
Yeah.
And 9 at night.
You get paid a lunch too?
No, they give you lunch.
They give you lunch?
Yeah.
Where'd you go for your certification?
The city of Detroit does training classes.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, at Wayne County Community College. For me, because I'm coming from the west, there's one in on the west side of Detroit.
And they pay you to take the training too, don't they?
They used to. I haven't got paid yet, but you know what? I don't mind because you know I would do it for free because you know they need Republicans there if they want to meet their statutory duty, and so
At least claim some level of parity.
Yes, they need somebody to lock out of the polling center.
So I'm looking forward
Maybe
to
Larry
that.
should volunteer. That'll be easy to lock him out.
Well,
In fact, I would encourage people that are listening in to consider doing that because
Yeah.
you know I'm doing it. You know, it's an off election year. You know, but I'm doing it because I want more practice, more repetition. Because I'll be likely doing it again in November of next year when it matters.
Right, the midterms. What's on the ballot there in Detroit this time around?
The mayoral race, the mayor of Detroit, and some other. You know, I think there's local races basically.
Yeah.
So so it won't be not be near as hectic as it would be
Right.
in a even yeared election.
Is that usually like a really pretty low turnout? I mean, it's
Yeah.
totally off year.
Well, I tell you what, in the primary, I forget when the primary was, in April or May or June, I forget, but it was really slow. You know, compared to the previous November, that was the presidential election. That was really busy.
Yeah. I see Kelly's chiming in over there in our chat. She says, hi, Wes and Joe, 2 of my favorite guys visiting with 2 of my other favorite guys.
Why, hello, Kelly. We're glad you're listening in.
We miss you,
miss
Kelly.
you. We need to get you
She's
over
making
here.
some big moves, and she's yeah.
Is that Kelly Uphouse?
Yeah.
Hi, Kelly Uphouse.
Yeah.
She just got recently reappointed to the DHS board. You know, representing Livingston County.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Kelly is a badass out there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm glad she's there.
She's listening while getting her new studio built out. Yeah, she's moving from her location. I think you've been there, 7 years, something like that. She said, thanks, Wes, for your mentioning of her reappointment.
Yes.
Yeah, so she's making a big move. Better location, better situation, I think.
Still in the county, or?
She'd have to tell me in there. She told me before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if she would not moving her residence, her business. Right?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's
okay.
got her studio.
Yeah.
No, she's building out her studio.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, she's got a new studio.
And I don't know, her studio I don't think was in our county. I think it's just outside.
She was in
I think she was
Dexter,
I think.
I've driven there a couple times, but
Yeah, but I think I don't know where her new studio is going to be, she will have to grace us.
Yeah,
with
she's
that
in
information.
Washtenaw for work, but she lives in Livingston. Yes. So, and she's a high-end hairdresser.
Yes.
She's a very,
Yes.
very, dexterous.
She's a hairdresser to the rich and famous.
She's definitely skilled.
Yeah. She knows what she's doing.
She does know what she's doing. That's why she's down there in Washtenaw with all them rich libtards she's got to endure.
Well,
she has fun talking to him in the chair.
she can take
She can
all
take
them
it.
libtards' money.
She's awesome. So Wes, going down there, being a poll check-in guy this time, checking it all in, sitting at the computers. Anything with the commissioners? I know you said it got a couple of the meetings got a little messed up with the Columbus Day, not Indigenous.
Not Indigenous Peoples
it's a
Day.
Columbus
Yes.
Day. Yeah, you're anything going on with the commissioners? What's the major things on the docket with the Livingston County Commissioners Board? You guys meet at least once a month for your big meetings, but you also have other meetings that you meet with.
Yeah,
Probably the budget.
Were they like subcommittee meetings and all that?
Yeah,
kind
we
of
have
stuff?
committee meetings. The full board, the actually meets twice a month, but one of the 2 times is just really a perfunctory meeting to pay the bills.
Okay.
And the other one is, I'll say where more decisions are made. And as I was, I had told other people recently, it's budget season. So hopefully, we're on track for approving the 2026 budget at the end of November.
Okay.
And, the due date is really the end of December, but we'd like to do it at the end of November, just in case something comes up and we can't, make a decision. We have plenty of time to meet our statutory duty of getting the budget passed before the end of the year.
And you guys publish the budget after it's all said and done, or you?
Yeah, there'll be a budget hearing. I can't remember the exact date, but it'll be in mid-November.
Okay.
And people can come and speak to the budget. Tell us what a great job we did, or what a crappy job we did, or
no.
Have you got any news on the data center? Have you had any part in dealing with that?
No, there was a lady that came out and called the public and kind of admonished the board for not being at the Howell Township meeting to.
Is that the big one that got moved to the school?
To the school,
yeah. So I did speak at, that prompted me to turn in a card and speak at Call the Public, because I just wanted to.
So you were there?
Yeah. No, I was not there.
Oh.
But so I spoke at Call the Public at the commissioners meeting.
Okay.
And I just wanted to clarify, because some people have the impression that we can tell the townships what to do, that the federal government can tell, the state government or what to do, but in fact we cannot. The decisions on zoning and land use, the data center is strictly a local decision.
Okay.
And actually, that's, in my view, that's the way it should be. If the local community wants to, I'll say, preserve its rural character, then they can vote, the trustees can vote against allowing the data center in. And it's not that they're, I guess you could say they're blocking the data center, but, the land use is currently agricultural.
Right.
And so I have a lot of sympathy for people that say, hey, I bought my property here, 10, 15 years ago, and that chunk of land was zoned agricultural. Now you want to change it? And I've already, I think the landowner has a right to sell his land. There's no question about it. It's his property, his or her property.
Right.
But the people that are in the community bought their property and understanding it was zoned agricultural, and that's what they wanted to move someplace where it was out in the country. Right. And so what about their rights? Well, as government, you're gonna go and change the zoning,
right?
And so it's a tough decision, but it ought to be a local decision.
Wes, that what you're saying makes perfect sense, and that irritates me very much.
It's very logical and
Yes.
and
How dare you?
bothers us.
Well, the other thing I'd mentioned, I was talking to a friend of mine. I said, you know, if I own my house, and if I want to sell it, and say I want to sell it to a liquor store, I don't have the right to sell it to a liquor store because it's not zoned that way. It's zoned residential.
Right.
So I mean, yeah. So you're infringing on my right to sell my house to whoever I want to. You know, it's a similar. You know, it's similar. It's I think a decent analogy.
Well, I moved here to Livingston County to get away from Oakland County,
Correct.
to get away from Wayne County, to get away from Washtenaw County, to get away from places like Genesee County. Livingston County is low crime, high, good schools. Well, at least it used to be. And the property values are good.
Yeah.
When I moved here, it not quite as expensive Oakland County, but a way better place to live.
Right.
We don't have public transportation. We don't have buses. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't even know if there's a cab company that operates in Livingston County.
No, and I'm not sure about that. But I think going back to Wes's point, it's you came in here with a residential or agricultural dynamic. You bought the house, and the people absolutely have the right to sell their property. But when you have it going from a agricultural residential dynamic into a full-blown commercial dynamic, I think that is incumbent upon the entire community to weigh in on that, especially when you have a data center, which we all, if you do any research, data centers are extremely detrimental to the energy grids where they're put into, if it's not bolstered. My understanding is this piece of property actually has heavy-duty, high-voltage already running through that.
Yeah, I think it's got good access to that
Yeah.
ITC.
And they would have to put in their own substation there to carry it. But also, some of the other, not immediately tangibles, but I know of one of the big scares that comes through with data centers is that they will drain the local aquifers, and everybody's wells will start to go dry because they're using so much water. Which begs the questions: find the locations on the coast of the Great Lakes that also have good transmission lines, and set up there. You could set up 5 miles off the coast with a couple of large pipes going right down into the lake. Pull that water out of the lake. You're just cooling the data centers. You're not running it through a nuclear plant, so you could cool it and then kick it right back out into the lake where it's going to cool back down. You're going to have a nominal effect on the overall large body of water there as a lake. You're not draining the local wells.
I think what I hear you saying is try as best you can to comply with the master zoning.
Yeah.
And not disrupt folks that moved out here, like Wes says, to live on agricultural or residential
you've got a
property.
big agricultural piece of land and you want to sell it, okay, maybe your grandpa or you inherited something like that, whatever. But the worst case scenario should be a subdivision, not a, how many ever acre data center in the middle of what was corn and soybean fields, know? And I think the people should rightly be up in arms. It's no different than the guests we've had on talking about the PUD there south of 96 in Latson, where they're trying to bring in this, wasn't it a shipping? It was going to be a manufacturing. It was going to be not manufacturing, but a light industrial, but it was basically going to be a big warehouse where they could come in and swap, inventory within trucks and stuff like that, and then deliver them around. The same groups, or the same concepts of people down there are, we bought this agricultural. I've got 5 acres. My neighbor's got 10. They've got this. They got, and all of a sudden, we're going to have a huge industrial, light industrial complex that's going to have lights on it now, 24/7 in our area. Create a light pollution right around the corner from us. It's going to affect the whole thing. That does affect property values. You know, that affects a lot of stuff. And people, you know, I'm not for. I think we get some HOAs that really get out of control, but I do think that the people have a vested interest in a right to comment and influence their trustees and influence, you know, whoever is in charge of giving that zoning or not giving that zoning and saying.
Yeah, you know, I spoke with a friend of mine who knows the planning and the zoning process, you know, far better than I do.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I was told was the entity that's seeking the zoning change to put in the data center didn't do a very good job of selling their idea ahead of time. When I, talking to the community, you know, getting their feedback.
Right.
And they basically, as explained to me, they put their request for a zoning change in front of the Howell Township Planning Commission with no preparation, and it got voted down. In fact, I was told they didn't even have a site plan. So they were asking people on the Planning Commission to vote on what I'm going to describe as limited information. And this is a big decision, and I think they could have done better at prepping the community.
Well, I was quite surprised that they didn't have, not that I'm aware of, pardon me, a representative from this data center to answer questions. And I'm going, the auditorium is packed, right? And people are, they want their questions answered, and they waited till, 2:30 in the morning it went on, and no representative from the data center to answer questions. So I'm going, what are we doing here?
Right.
Were you there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Were you there till the vote?
No, I left about 9:30.
Yeah, so the vote ultimately was from the Planning Commission was to deny. But I think they're appealing that.
Yeah, so the process, and I'm not
Excuse me, everybody. I'm sorry.
It'll take me a second to recover my ears because of Larry.
Cover your ears. I got to clean my glasses. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not wearing glasses.
You wish you were wearing glasses.
Sorry about that. That just came out of nowhere. I couldn't even, it happened so fast I couldn't even turn my mic off.
Yeah, no, I was told that because the county has a planning commission, so you got the township planning commission, you got a county planning commission, which, by the way, the county's planning commission is strictly advisory.
Okay.
You know, I mean, so it reinforces what I said earlier. The decision makers are at the township level.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, but because it got voted down by the township planning commission, I think I was told statutorily it has to go in front of the county planning commission.
Okay.
But it's not. I mean, like I said, it's just an advisory thing. So that step in the process hasn't happened yet.
Right.
And I'm not sure. I don't know the schedule closely enough to be able to tell you when that's going to happen.
I forget the date. I knew the date, and I can't remember. So.
Do we know the estimated value of this build of the data centers? What it's going to be?
I've heard these huge data centers, in ballpark terms, are like $5 billion, $6 billion.
Right.
I thought.
And is there a direct revenue?
$2 billion is what I thought.
Return to the community. Because I've heard that once they get them in, there's very little staffing that needs to take place. Some maintenance people and some security, stuff like that. They're pretty well automated. Because it's just basically big blade servers that just have to be monitored.
Yeah. I heard the number 40, 50 people.
Yeah. You get a multi-billion-dollar facility that's got 40, 50 people. That's not a net benefit to the community given the impact. And I can see where a lot of people, and you had this meeting that went till 2:30 in the morning before it was said and done.
I would say this. I've heard on the other side of the people on the other side that are favorable to it. One of the arguments that's I thought interesting to me, at least I'll listen, Because I'm in the camp of wanting to preserve the rural character of Livingston County.
Absolutely.
And that thought was put forward by the citizens in over the course of the last year or so. You know, as the county is redeveloping its master plan, they get community input.
Oh yeah.
And so the thing our planning folks had told me is that, you know, there's a strong desire of the people that attended these master plan, you know, discussions to preserve the rural character of the county.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not out in left field on that. I'm right there. But think of it this way, you know, you've got this multi-billion-dollar entity, and if that were, say, a manufacturing plant,
Mm-hmm.
you might have 500, 600, you know, people, and in my view, having fewer people in terms of road congestion and all this, and losing that rural flavor and making it more crowded, I would prefer it to be less crowded.
Okay.
So, it's an interesting, you know, there are people that say you're not going to prevent all growth in Livingston County. And I think that's probably a true statement.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to have growth, but you want to maintain that rural character, isn't a data center a good thing? You know, because it's got, you know, you're not going to bring in a lot of people. So.
Yeah. Well, as far as the impact on the living commission, and I see your devil's advocate point on that. I think Kelly was channeling a little bit of Waterboy over there, and she said data centers are the devil. I think that kind of settles the argument right there without any other discussion.
Isn't there any vacant commercial buildings in Livingston County where they could put a data
I think
center?
that's part of the dynamics. It's just this.
Finding light industrial. I think this would fall under light industrial, which is very light or heavy.
I think the building itself, because of the footprint, I don't know how that would be designated because they're not manufacturing there, but it's a heavy impact as far as.
Well, the thing is, my point is, there's just not enough. There's never enough industrial land.
The rationale that I've read and I've heard, the data center wants a lot of land because they want a lot of security. I mean, so I think they are asking for what, 900 or 1,000 acres. They're going to take up, you know,
10.
In the
Something
center
like
of
that.
center of that acreage, they'll have their building,
right?
And they want lots of space between the fence line and the building. They are highly security conscious.
Well, we just had I don't know if you guys got affected by it at all, but I think it was over the course of Saturday night into Sunday, there was a huge server attack. Many of the Amazon servers that host a lot of the websites was attacked, and I didn't know it at the time, but I couldn't get on some websites that I normally go on. I was looking up a movie trivia, and internet movie database was down, and I was looking up a couple, and I'm like, why is this not loading, you know? And it was because they were hosting, and they host a lot of stuff. I don't know if Amazon's behind this data center. Doesn't sound like that we've heard who's actually behind it, which it doesn't have to be a big conglomerate like that. It can be anybody. You're just setting up blade servers and stuff like that, and then you have to have the transmission lines. And I do like that dynamic of it being, you know, keeping itself surrounded in the woods and doing that. Like you said, Joe, isn't there some other spots? You know, it's like instead of taking that 1,000 acres and using 10 of it and cordoning off the rest, you know, let's keep a lot of that agricultural, maybe put in another couple subdivisions around that area, and find something in an already sprawling commercial area, and then you don't have to worry about it. You know, put up your high fences and do your things like that. I think, you know, there's an argument to be made on that.
Well, I think what it comes down to, as an investor, would you rather spend your dollars on heavy industrial property or agricultural property?
They would spend it on agriculture. They're going to get it a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
They're also going to, I just don't know if you can, I guess a lot of them don't care, though, whether they have the goodwill of the community when they're seeking to do these type of ventures. They're just going to plop into place, and as long as they get approval, they don't, like you said, they didn't do anything ahead of time, right? Did you say that, or Joe said
Yeah,
that?
I said that.
They
yeah.
didn't do anything ahead of time to, get with the community and find out where the hearts and minds of the people are. You know, you moved in next to 900 or 1,000 acres of farmland, and all of a sudden somebody's talking about putting in something that it's not. It wouldn't be just okay. You want to do 1,000 acres and you want to be in the dead center of it and have a couple entrance roads and put up some fences around the inner facility in there. I don't think anybody would, or not a lot of people would have that dynamic if you explained it that way. But then we all know the impact. Larry loses power every other week where he lives. We know the impact on the grid here, in Livingston County. And the other things is people have heard their horror stories, oh, fracking's great, and then they can light their faucets on fire, yeah. It's like, oh, it's great, and they sell their property, and the next thing you know, they've got a contract with the fracking company, but now it's seeped into their groundwater, and they're having issues like that. That's documented, so fracking can be great. But did you give them full disclosure? Did you tell them everything that's going on? Did you, same with the data centers. Did you let them know that you are?
Well, Livingston County clearly doesn't want, the voters clearly don't want an expansion of corporate anything.
No.
In Livingston County.
No.
I mean, they melted down in my side, my neck of the woods. They melted down over an asphalt plant.
The trying to get into that one gravel pit, right?
Yeah, just a simple little asphalt plant. Which an asphalt plant, maybe it's gonna bring 12 jobs.
Right.
Maybe it would be good for like where they were gonna put it. There's a couple gas stations that would have benefited from all the dump trucks coming. Getting their lunch and their pizza, or whatever, or a pop or a pack of cigarettes, whatever the truck drivers want. That would have been a benefit, but I saw so much misinformation going around. Being that this is what I do for a living,
right?
Talking about all the lies about pollution, and then they show pictures of an asphalt plant. This is what it's going to look like. Well, yeah, that's what it looked like in 1913.
Right.
And I think, alluding to your point, Jeremy, they did not present this very well. And I heard more than a few people were really turned off by the input that DTE gave. They found that to be insulting. That DTE seemed to be promoting this.
Because they're going to have huge revenue from that.
And,
sure.
And so they were trying to sell the public on how.
And that's kind of what you do when you are a nefarious group, isn't it?
Yeah,
you get other people excited to do your dirty work and push agendas.
And there wasn't going to be any harm to the grid, and we had plenty. They had it well under control, and we know that's not true.
And who are they going to favor if the power goes out at the center, right?
Yeah.
And the power goes out for
the data center is going to take priority no matter what you do.
Yeah.
And we don't even know the unintended consequences. Is there sound impact? Is there other impacts on that?
Is there a libtard impact?
There probably is, because they'll be surfing the web and they'll have greater access if there's a data center here with more storage space for their wacky things. I was going to say this, and I'll let you go, Joe. But they one of the unintended consequences that people don't realize. I didn't realize this. I hate the windmills and I hate the solar panels. I think they're both.
You don't like driving through the thumb and seeing nothing but windmills as far as
and they never recoup the cost.
Right.
Let alone if you're going to do something energy efficient and green, it should automatically, like within the first couple of years, I know when if I build a house and I build it out of ICF, the insulated concrete, right? The insulated concrete foam. Those homes or businesses are extremely efficient. They retain almost a zero transfer of heat from the outside, heat or cold from the outside. but there's initially about a 15 to 20% higher cost of using that material to build a home or a residence. So it's going to take you about 5 to 10 years, depending on how much you're using it, what it's a house or a business. It's going to take you about 5 to 10 years to hit break-even point because you had to spend a little bit more upfront. But using that material, they're starting to use it down throughout the Gulf Coast and through the Caribbean because they can build these insulated concrete. So for those of you in the audience, it's basically a foam Lego block with a channel in the middle of it, and you stack them up like Lego blocks, and then you pour concrete down the middle.
I've seen that.
Really?
Yeah. Does that have to do with sustaining through a hurricane?
That's what I was going to get to. It's that technology properly installed, and there's multiple manufacturers out there, can sustain hurricane winds up to 300 miles an hour. And at worst, you have to replace your windows and whatever siding you had on it, but the structure itself will be completely intact because it's a core of concrete surrounded by foam. And you can have up to like a 4-inch layer of foam on the inside and the outside of the building, and there's zero heat transfer through that. It's a phenomenal technology, but again, it's about a 15 to 20% higher building cost up front. And so if you were to build a conventional home versus this home, but then once you hit that break-even point, anywhere from 5 to 10 years, they're building them up in some of the coldest areas of Canada. They're building like I went to Canada and went to the facility where we bought our stuff, so they gave us a whole presentation. But they were building apartments, 12-unit apartments out of this ICF. ICF, so there was no sound transfer. You could be in your apartment, they could be in their apartment, and you can bang on the wall. It doesn't go through. There's a layer of foam, there's concrete, there's a layer of foam. You're not getting anything going through. Then they're putting the whole building, all 12 units, on one gas.
Are you
one
telling
gas
me?
meter, because they put in a couple strategic, like those split units, what do you call them? The little units that you can put up like in the corner of a room, mini splits. So they're a heat and air conditioning little mini split.
Okay.
They can put those in the apartment. It'll take care of the entire apartment because they're so energy efficient.
Those are soundproof?
Yes.
So, like if
the only sound transfer you're going to get
if somebody was choking, say their girlfriend, like 8 times?
Hypothetically.
Yes.
It would not be heard,
heard.
Unless they put in cheap windows. But then if you put in a triple pane window,
right,
with the dual gas in there,
yeah,
triple pane windows have a very minimal transfer of heat. And then if you do a solid core
the argon gas you're talking about.
Yeah. So anyways, my point was there's building materials that, upfront cost. These windmills and solar panels don't even get a return on that. All those windmills up there in the Thumb area of Michigan, they're sending transmission lines down to Detroit. That's never becoming a realization down there. And the big thing that I didn't learn,
how much power do how much power do they lose? Because you get degradation in the power lines. That's why they have the step up transfer stations and all that stuff every so many miles and stuff like that. Because, you're
basically
still
Tesla
losing.
coils, substations that are basically modified or much lesser Tesla coils.
Yes.
That kind of ramp the signal back up of the AC current. But my big thing, the thing I was getting to after that long thing was, I didn't realize how horrible the solar panel fields are on sound.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
The noise coming off the solar panels, let alone the birds.
Really? There's noise?
Huge noise.
Yeah, the noise comes from they call them inverters. So the solar panel generates DC current.
That's correct.
And it needs to be inverted into AC current. So those inverters.
It's a humming sound then?
Yeah, it's and it could be the solar panels that are being contemplated for Cohocton and Conway Township. The regulations right now are 55 decibels, whereas if you go and we've had people look at regulations in like Massachusetts or other places with solar panels. They're at 45 decibels. So people think, well, okay, 10 decibels. But 10 decibels is a lot.
It's a lot.
And if you are desirous of your rural character and your homes are, in close proximity of these solar fields, you're going to have this constant humming, and you're not going to be liking it.
Right,
So.
and then there's there's other unintended consequences. We don't know what frequencies that those inverters are working off of. We know that the solar panels do kill birds. If a bird inadvertently flies over the solar panel and gets too far in before it realizes, they can cook. They can.
Talk about fried chicken.
Yeah, exactly. I just heard they shut that huge one down that was in the desert there in California, the big circle one that's been in a lot of pictures and movies. But the amount of birds that were killed in that, because once the birds flew into that area, they get cooked. It's literally a huge.
They should have shake and bake sprayers.
They should
to coat the bird as they fly over the.
But also they're not healthy because you get the X-rays, or what do you get from solar panels?
Well, that's another dynamic of it. So the hum that you hear? I went to school for electrical engineering, but I forgot most of what I learned. But from DC to AC. So DC is a direct current. It's a straight, positive and negative, and it's a straight current.
That's a car.
Yeah.
Your car, your pickup truck, your lawn tractor.
AC is an alternating current at 60 hertz. So it alternates 60 times in a second. So it's alternating. So to go from a straight current DC to an alternating current AC, stepping up the voltage from 12 volts normally, maybe the solar panels are running on 24, but they're not kicking out 120 volts of DC. That would kill you instantly. But what happens is they'll have probably a capacitor inductor system in there, and it literally is taking that DC straight current and swapping it and then ramping it up. It's like these little power supplies that you have that's the opposite of that. If you ever have you got your computer or whatever, you got this little box in between where you plug into the wall, you got this little box. Well, that box is taking an AC current that's going like this, and it's turning into, usually for laptops, it's either 18 to 20 volts of DC. So there's a whole bunch of little electronics to convert it over. Well, inverters are that much more, they're the opposite way to go to DC. And I tried to fix Larry's inverter in his motorhome, and it didn't quite work. He had to buy a secondary one.
And they just replaced the one I put in because it went bad.
Nice.
So it's sitting up at Campers World.
If they replace it again, I'm going to have to verify operator error. Just going to say that. So anyways, it's amazing to me. You've got
insult to injury.
Well, and you've got,
he's picking on me.
You've got how many huge commercial buildings do we have throughout the Livingston County area as is? I'm just saying. It's a rhetorical thing. We got
Pepsi,
Walmart, Myers, Pepsi, Lowe's, Home Depot, just right here. We just had the new Hobby Lobby going in. It's so cool. You got all these places.
You got Hatch over there where Trump just went to?
Right.
No, not Trump. The VP.
Vance.
Yeah.
You've got all of these buildings around here. Why are we putting solar panels, the chemicals that are produced? Yeah, Georgie's chiming in there. The chemicals that the solar panels are producing. Yeah. Why are we not looking to partner up with business? This is another one. It's like the data center. What are we doing? We're not engaging and partnering up. You could put solar panels across these flat roofs on every one of these commercial buildings, Kroger's, across the whole plaza. You just stack them across the roof, and you would have more square footage than taking up an entire formerly agricultural field, and you would have more of a direct dynamic because you've already got large transmission lines coming to these buildings. So then put in whatever they got to do to tap in and feed back. So now you can still charge the business there for the amount of energy they're using, but they might be getting a good portion of it off their own roof. and you still get to charge them for that. Work it out. It's like, why do you pick a nice? I think that's the part that bothers me. I think they're doing that stuff, that dynamic on purpose to find pristine areas and just destroy them.
Yeah, I think there's some merit to what you say, because you think about, say the city of Detroit, which has a lot more power needs than around here.
Right.
That you've got these areas, these brownfield areas that could be, converted over to solar panels, but they choose to come out here. Does that, it's...
And then what? They're going to try to tie into transmission lines and do a bunch of other stuff. Not only that, we build these huge monstrosities of windmills. They don't start turning until a certain speed, and then they have to shut off if it goes too fast. I think it's like 18 miles an hour they shut down if wind goes beyond that, okay? You've seen them where they burn up. All of the materials in them, you've got 500 pounds of concrete, you've got, it's 500 pounds of rebar within the concrete bases. You've got like 600 gallons of oil that has to be in the transfer box up top. You've got all the transmission lines. Do you know how Detroit? Why doesn't Detroit? You've got skyscrapers in Detroit, not like New York, Chicago, stuff like that. But you've got tall buildings. The winds around those, I've looked at it years ago. There are small systems that you can put on the peak of your house because of so wind coming at, say if it's 10 mile an hour wind coming at your house. It hits the flat face of your house and it hits your roof. It's already going to be buffered, and that's why we get the little swirls when you see the snow in the wintertime. You get this little swirl off of your overhang. So that's because the wind's hitting it and going up and swirl, and as it goes up, it swirls. But just the roof alone, you can take wind pressure and it compresses when it hits your roof. So that wind is going 10 miles an hour, and maybe by the time it hits the peak of your roof, and you see that swirls up there too, you can get, out of 10 mile an hour wind, you could get 25, 30 miles an hour at the peak, right there, because it's compressing. They have systems, and I looked at them, but it's not appealing to the green people. But they're basically like the little barn fans that you would see years ago, little cupolas that you would sit on top, right? And it has openings at the bottom, and it has an opening within. So your heat coming out of your attic would give it a constant.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about
going up, as well as any winds from outside would cause compression and have those fans. You could put 2 or 3 of those fans, which were rated to do a maximum of 5 kilowatts per hour, and a minimum if they were blowing of like 1.3 or something like that. You could put those across your roof, tie them into your own battery system inside your house, and you're doing it. Why are they not doing this in these big cities that have these extreme high winds? Why haven't they engineered any of that? We don't think about these things. We got waste treatment plants with raw sewage there that could be put into incinerators, and that's a biofuel. You could use that straight up as a biofuel, and we're not doing that. We're selling it to farmers to put on their crops, and then I got to interview a guy that got PFAS and contamination because he was taking waste from the waste treatment plants. But these are all dynamics, and I think people are waking up more and more to these things, and I love that people are getting active. We've seen whole school boards, whole township boards replaced overnight because people are like, no, this is not for the good of our community.
Well, I heard a couple comments that people felt like they were they felt insulted. The message that came across was, okay, we're going to ramrod this thing through, and these old hicks in Livingston County, they won't know what hit them.
Yeah. George is commenting, to destroy the environment, and after they are ready, to increase the taxes to fix the environment. That was something I had a conversation with somebody off air the other day about how they want, they'll come in and destroy I think we touched on it on Sunday show. They'll come in and destroy a wetland or whatever they need to do, government-wise. But the minute somebody sneezes and thinks about you know, doing a little, filling in a little bit here or changing the landscape here, or doing like, we got to get permission and have a committee and have all this. Whereas, you know, it's like they poured.
They come down on you like you murdered somebody.
Dude, they poured calcium chloride. I don't know. It was got to be 10 years ago or more on golf club here in the winter. And then all of that ran into the lake and killed Earl Lake. And it's just starting to come back, you know? And so it's like government's allowed to do certain things. People who work for governments or get government permission are allowed to do things. But then the average people that are affected daily by that stuff, you know, that this plant over there in the next county over that's been, you know, having PFAS in their runoff that goes into the local water supply, they've been held almost zero accountability, and yet there's PFAS contamination to the point that, you know, like I said, I interviewed a local farmer that got, I would never do it, but he got free human waste to put on his field as fertilizer that was PFAS contaminated, and then they came and investigated his, or, you know, tested his ground and shut his whole farm down.
Was that the gentleman in Genoa Township? Or?
Yeah. Yeah, right, just east of us.
Yeah.
So, all right, Wes, that was not the main intent of why you came. You came to do an expose tonight, and we've got a couple clips to play before we take our break. But I want to get into what?
I had to bring up the subject, and
I blame you.
I know.
I do.
I know you do.
Not as much as Larry, but I still hold you accountable.
But
no, it's your fault always, Larry. Just sometimes you might have a buddy that helps you get into
it sounds like you know my boss.
Yeah.
You know, that's, I mean.
Larry, you know the old saying, familiarity breeds contempt?
Yes. Boy, I tell you. He does. I swear to God, he knows my boss.
You know, they took that. You know where they took that from, right?
I forget.
Proverbs. It says, seldom set foot in your neighbor's house or he'll hate you.
Especially if you ate White Castle.
Dude, don't go to your neighbor's house too often. You know, it's just you got to choose when you hang out at your people's house. They might go, dude, you need to go home.
So we're gonna follow up. We're gonna follow up today on what was it? About 2 years ago, you were here when the first time we talked about Julio Hashi and Sage. Stuff like that. So
yeah, I don't remember the exact timing, but yeah,
it's about 2 summers ago. So, and you've got a lot to add to what you knew then.
So, for the record, Wes, I just want to go and confirm the record. You didn't give a disclaimer at the beginning of the show about being a county commissioner, but we'll do that. We'll say that. The views expressed by Wes are Wes's views.
Personal.
But they're badass, so you just might want to pay attention.
And the rest of the commissioners might be jealous.
But here's the other thing. I am very proud to say on This Is My Brain show that Wes has never been censured for an appearance on the show.
Yeah, which he has an advantage over the Heartland School Board.
We're knocking on wood.
Yeah, that's right. Because if I remember right, they had some school board people took a lot of heat for coming here.
Yes,
and they've been back now, and I love it. I love those guys.
They've been back several times.
Yeah.
Since then.
So, Wes, hate crimes in the local community.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic. You know, it's something that is, it's a local issue. And so I'm happy to elaborate on it. I've done probably as much research on it as anybody else in the community, and I'm looking forward to sharing my findings. So,
where do you want to start? Do you want to start with the clips?
No, let me.
Or do you want to go through?
Do you want to do a little recap to remind anybody?
Yeah, I would give a little backdrop here. Okay. You know what things that we'll talk about tonight. There's two specific fake hate crimes that had got a lot of notoriety. You know, back in 2021, there was one with a lady named Renee Gideon. And some people might remember that her fake hate crime was in and just ahead of Melonfest. If you remember back in 21, there was a controversy about drag queen bingo at Melonfest.
Yes.
And so her fake hate crime kind of wove into that whole drag queen bingo controversy. Then 2 years later, was Julia Hashi. She is perpetrated her fake hate crime, and that one caught my attention first. In fact, I didn't know anything about the one in 21 until a citizen came up and mentioned it at Call the Public.
Okay.
And that was after I had researched Julia Hashi. I thought, wow, I didn't hear that. So
the drag queen?
No, the drag queen one,
Yeah.
Renee Gideon. So let me research that.
Yeah.
So this is a suggestion for all your listeners that are or viewers. You know, I found all my information out through a Freedom of Information Act request of the local law enforcement. For the Julia Hashi one, that was the Oakland County Sheriff's Office.
Right.
For Renee Gideon, that was the Green Oak Township Police Department.
Okay.
But, you know, I think the moral of the story is, especially in Livingston County, because you have an element in the county that just wants to smear the citizenry as being racist, that don't take the media's word for it. You know, get your own firsthand information.
100%.
Use the FOIA. So we'll get into that a little bit more deeply. But and then so. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, somebody in chat feels that that Commissioner Nakagiri would be much more assertive in sharing this story if he had a samurai sword. So I don't know if you want the samurai sword over there. We can grab that one off the wall.
Yeah, I could hold on to that.
Did you not know that we had a
hang on to
samurai
those
sword?
two. Just walk with them, Joe. Grab both of your packs, and it should pop right off. So
No, actually,
thanks, Georgie, for that.
Somebody had said to me when I started, you know, I changed how I wear my hair. He said, "You kind of look like a samurai."
Hell
so I
yeah.
can have the sword.
Yeah.
Or a kamikaze pilot.
Do I need to do it, Joe?
Hang on. Let me.
There you go, buddy.
There we
You
go.
got it. You got it. Here.
Okay.
Here, we'll just deliver it right across the table. It's not like we're doing the shotgun.
This is a real one. Huh?
No.
Oh, okay.
This is. I ended up with it. It's made to look real, but it's pretty nice for those the people out there in Rio Linda and some parts here in Livingston County. But there's the samurai sword.
Yeah, look at that. I
better not tick him off now.
Hey, you know what, Wes? I love the
I
fact
have I have to be
Wes
careful with
doesn't
my
have
jokes
a mean
now.
bone in his body.
I love the fact that Wes gets recommended as a samurai sword, and me as a Polak. What would I get?
Yeah,
Not
a pickle.
I love it. Here, we'll put that at the end of the table, Wes. So you don't have to hold that. So let's get into this. You were becoming aware of that. I knew of the drag queen thing that popped up right away.
Yes.
I was witness to it right away and knew the people that said, "Hell no, you're not doing this during Melon Fest. This is BS." And then they ended up moving it down to Aubrey's.
Yes.
And I reluctantly went there once because somebody else was paying and I was invited. Since then, I
haven't gone back either.
Yeah, and so I think they're still doing all right, and I don't overall fault them, but read the room. This is not a county where you do that, and definitely, you want to do drag queens, you want to do some goofy shit like that. We're gonna have a big costume party here for my birthday coming up. People but there's a whole other demonic dynamic going on with the drag queen things, and the minute you want to bring little kids into it. Mm-hmm. It's the minute I hear a young person anywhere in high school or lower talking about being gay or any of the other designations, I go, this
a young
this is,
kid
this,
like that
this
shouldn't even know those
well,
words.
this is an indoctrination because those terms are strictly sexual. They're a sexuality thing. Drag queen. That's literally, a drag queen is literally a man parts, dressed up as a woman to do cabaret dance. That's originally the dynamics of cabaret. I mean, there is a history. They didn't have women actors back when Shakespeare was writing plays and stuff like that. It was all played by men. So you had your more effeminate men that were taking feminine roles and playing the women on stage because they didn't enlist a lot women knowingly as actors on those stages, on those play stages. Totally different dynamic when you're dressing up because you've got a fetish or you're a tweak, and you want to go up there and do that. But I was well aware of it, and I saw the community come out in mass and say, you know what, if you'd have said 18 and older, you know, or 21 and older, this is an adult show, you know, just like the adult bookstores and the Deja Vu clubs all have to have those signs out. Okay, well, you're doing drag queens in skimpy outfits, and you're a dude.
But
put the sign up. They refused. They didn't want to put up a sign up saying 18 and older, 21 and older. So it got shut completely down. And then they're all pissed off about it. And then they're going to Aubrey. And it's like, dude.
Jeremy, it's not about them having the right to act. It's about molding our young ones to their warped,
100%.
flawed
That's
image.
why they won't. That's why they want to do a pride parade right down the street, mostly naked. I've unfortunately been sent the videos or come across them on X or whatever, and you see them and they've got glitter on their genitals and think that that's a covering, and they're walking down the street and children are lining the parade like it's a 4th of July parade. And I go, that at any other level, at the other dynamic is obscene and pedophilic.
Yeah.
And you're going to do that, and then they're going to come out and say, "Oh, that's a hate crime that you wouldn't let us
and so I'm
shake our genitals in front of children."
I'm going to repeat myself because it deserves it. That they are about indoctrinating children. They're not about having a right to have their parade. And another aspect of it is, it's in your face.
Yes.
Because
if I accept you or give you passive, it's vampiric. If I let you in my house, whether I want you there or not, but I've opened the door and I let you in, you feel you have permission and a right to do whatever you want once you walk in the door.
And as part of the aspect, also, I don't know if you'd agree with this, is that they really themselves know how depraved it is, but they choose a certain lifestyle, 100%. And then they want you to condone it.
Right.
To appease their...
It's no different than a group of teenagers doing something that they know they shouldn't do, and one of them in the group has something going on, they've been abused, whatever it is, and they choose to pick on a kid far beyond what they would ever do alone or would anybody else in that group would ever do, and they end up picking on a kid and bullying a child, bullying another kid in a group situation that they would never do because they're egged on by the rest of the kids. We've seen how many depictions in movies where they're bullying somebody to the point where they
commit
suicide, and they go, well, nobody stopped me in my group. And that's the same thing with these drag queens, where they want, as long as they get some hand clapping and some people that go along with it, they feel justified. They feel like they're accepted, and they're not here in this community. Okay, Wes, we've interrupted you and went on a rant there, but so the drag queen thing was going on here during Melon Fest, but then you found out Ohashi. Elaborate on the Ohashi one, and then get into this latest one.
Yeah, so Ohashi, was one that caught my attention first and foremost because I actually live in the same subdivision as her.
Right.
And
how fun is that?
I live in Dunham Hills, which is part in Livingston County and part in Oakland County. I think it's like 2/3 in Oakland County and 1/3 in Livingston.
So your bedrooms in Livingston County, your bathrooms in Oakland.
Yeah.
Is that in between like Fenton Road and what's the next road?
Are we doxing people?
Is it Bullard?
No. I mean, I'm not.
Tipsico Lake Road
is
the border.
Is the border?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
for the most part, I mean, it's not. Ohashi lives on the Oakland County side.
Okay.
And, but it caught my attention because I said, "Oh, that's in my subdivision." So that's what. Then I started looking into it. But So, you have these two fake hate crimes, and then I did some analysis because I thought, that's kind of odd that you'd have two fake hate crimes in a small community, Livingston County. And so, I'll give you the punchline, and then we'll work backwards later in the discussion. Livingston County is a low crime county. I was telling, I think, Larry, that our crime rate is about 1/4 of the national average.
Okay.
That's pretty cool, I think. But when it comes to fake hate crimes, we are 25 times higher than the national average. And
fake hate crimes.
Fake hate crimes, yes. And so here you've got law and order Livingston County, but then when it comes to fake hate crimes, we're 25 times more than the national average, and we'll dig into that a little bit.
And maybe we can discuss the proper usage of what a hate crime is. I mean, if I
punch Larry,
is
pointing
that,
at me,
is that a hate crime?
Show me what you mean by punching him first.
Yeah.
So
no, he works construction. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, Larry just drives truck.
But
you see his look. He's like, just drive truck. What do you listen, buddy?
But
you don't get anywhere without guys like me.
Crime,
That's true.
They try to even
everything comes in a truck.
They try to
including my temper.
Crime racial. Everything's racial.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Yeah.
Well, you're diving into our local stuff, and it doesn't. It definitely needs to be highlighted and brought to the surface and exposed, but it doesn't amount to a Jesse Smollett or a Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace saying that there's a noose in his garage, and it's just the pull-down string for the attic access.
Yeah.
And Jesse Smollett, which was ridiculous, so he paid two guys $5,000 with a personal check to put a noose around their neck and wear a MAGA hat and say, this is MAGA country, or put a noose around. He put a noose. He's 2 hours afterwards, the cops show up and he's still got the noose around his neck. It's like, and he was completely, it was such a joke. What were we going to say, Larry, before we go back to this?
I was just going to remind everybody that, these people in this community that, they fake hate crimes, they make up hate crimes, they lie to everybody in the community.
Right.
They also call him a white supremacist.
Yes.
I can see that.
Yeah,
no, I can see that.
Yeah. So
I tried to fix the lighting a little bit.
These same people.
You do have a white supremacist glow to you right now.
Right.
I find them intimidating.
I told you not to fight with them today.
Our friend Shane Trejo held an event in Howell.
He's a white supremacist.
And he's Mexican.
No, it's Trejo.
Yeah, Trejo. But he held an event there, and Casey Hilton, Amber Fry, and Julio Hashi show up with brooms and mops. The libertard media shows up, and they talk about how they're sweeping white supremacy off the sidewalk. It's like, open a history book, you morons.
No,
white supremacy was a Democrat thing. It was something from the Democrat Party. It was something that Robert Miles was involved with. Who is he? A Democrat that ran George Wallace's campaign in Michigan.
Yep.
So
George is saying every time they don't like something, it's a hate crime. That's really what it is.
Yeah. Every time they don't like anything, it's racist, it's bigoted, it's homophobe. Oh, you beat a liberal in an argument. Oh, you racist.
Yeah. Kelly's asking about the chalk drawing on the school parking lot near Cracker Barrel.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and the leftists propagate that initially, and then it disappeared. Like it just,
Yeah.
Kind of like the Vegas shooting. You guys remember the Vegas shooting? No, nobody does, even though.
Actually, here's a question for you. What's the last thing a Democrat says before he loses the argument? You're a racist.
You're a racist. Oh, I have. If we get to it, I have multiple clips on X of the No Kings protests, where they come up and they go, "But okay," and they engage them in a conversation. They get some feedback. They ask another question. They get some feedback, and then they ask that question. Oh, I can't talk to you anymore. Why? Because I just gave you some truth and put the question back to you again, and now you're offended.
Yes.
You know. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
All
if
right.
you lie to a conservative,
Yeah.
it makes them angry. If you tell a liberal the truth,
It makes them
angry.
So Wes, you're living there. Part of your subdivision is in the next county over, and we had a horrible hate crime.
Yeah, the specifics of that one were that Julie Ohashi complained that a swastika was burned into a tree on her property, and to try to intimidate her into silence. I forget the issue. She was involved with some Heartland school issue.
Yeah, she was pushing to have boys put into the girls' bathrooms, locker rooms, and showers, and boys and girls sports.
You know what I don't
She
hear
was
from
pushing
these-
all, at the time, Heartland was also, I was involved in all that too, because at the time, we were working to get the rainbow flags, I call it the
Occupation flag.
the occupation flag,
Yeah,
or
the alphabet mafia.
yeah, removed from school property.
Yeah.
See, what I don't hear is from these individuals, everything's cultural. You don't hear them speak about how can we improve the economy.
No.
How can we...
It's identity politics.
How can we... identity politics. How can we improve our neighborhood? Or
No.
It's all social. It's all about...
You need to listen to me.
Yeah.
How dare you not acquiesce and bow down?
Well,
You need to be Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer during the Black Lives Matters and bow down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot
And
about those idiots.
Yeah. And if you goes to a restaurant and...
You need to find them, and you need to tell them they're not welcome here.
Who was that did that? Was that boxer?
It was Rick James. Wasn't it Rick James?
No. That was...
That's
Oh, it was the chick
Maxine
that
Water-
it was the chick-
Waters. Was it
Maxine
Maxine
Waters?
Waters.
Maxine
Is
Waters.
That,
Yeah.
Who was Maxine Waters?
Yeah,
was in
I keep getting her
Washington.
confused. It's not Rick James. It's
Maxine
it's
Waters.
the hardest working man in show business. James Brown.
James Brown.
She stole James Brown hairdo.
She stole James Brown there, dude.
If you see them, you tell them they're not welcome here. So Wes, you got this fake swastika, which doesn't even equate to the issues that we're talking about. Like if I was a smart leftist, which they don't exist, but if I was a smart leftist, I would try to pick something that fit the dynamic. If I was fighting for bathrooms, maybe I throw a dildo at your house.
Or,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, or if it...
I don't know.
Don't
Or
give
if
many
it
ideas.
contained-
They only take the dildos to church.
I know.
or if it contained a little bit of the truth.
Well, that's what I'm saying is you're fighting to have boys and girls bathrooms, and you fake having a swastika on a tree in your property.
Yeah,
I don't see how it correlates.
Well, it's because that's all they got. That's all
100%.
they can't justify.
Right.
Morally, they cannot justify putting a boy in a girl's bathroom or in a
Right.
girl's locker room
Right.
or beating up on girls in sports.
Right.
They can't justify that morally.
Yeah.
So the only thing they can do is try and tear down the moral argument by bringing in fascism and communism and
100%.
Marxism and
Well, they don't
Nazis.
they don't get the clue. They don't have any historical understanding that the Nazis were, yes, against homosexuality on the surface. That was the party line. But who was the main flight guy? The main was a flaming homosexual. The big fat guy that ran their Air Force, the Luftwaffe.
Sergeant Schultz.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy.
But
I see nothing.
But they don't realize historically that the vast majority of the SS leadership were homosexuals, and they would have homosexual parties. And the reason that the Nazis pushed for non-homosexuals as a push and to persecute homosexuals outside of their thing is because they wanted to procreate and raise up as many people for the army and the nation as they could. It wasn't about trying to stomp out a bunch of homosexuals. It was they had whole camps and facilities for the German women to go to learn how to be the best mothers and have as many babies, Aryan babies, as they possibly could. You don't even get the dynamic of why the Nazis didn't like homosexuals. It wasn't that they weren't homosexual. It was that, okay, listen, you can be gay and you can go fondle little boys and do whatever you want. Make sure you got 10 kids at home and you're okay, and we'll give you a pass. That's literally, when you study Nazi history, the vast majority of the SS officers were engaged in homosexual behavior at different parties at various times. Not quite like, everybody going to Bohemian Grove on the weekend. But it was along that lines of they were into that stuff. Yeah. But they publicly would say, we're going to confiscate those. And they would do a couple public things like that. So to throw a swastika up, you guys don't even have a clue. If you were a smart leftist, you would pick something to hoax that would actually correlate. But you get to the end of the argument and you go, you're a Nazi. You're a racist. You're a homophobe. I go,
yeah,
that's how we're ending the argument?
Yeah, when they have an argument, my experience has been it ends with in your face. They never carry the conversation beyond.
Because they can't. It's cognitive dissonance when they're confronted with the truth. So, Wes, you got this Nazi burned into a tree. How did they burn it into the tree then, again?
So she claimed it was burnt into the tree, but in fact it was painted onto the tree.
Yeah.
She described it as arson on a tree that's on her property, but in fact the tree was 50 yards from her property in a community park.
Yeah, it didn't also, I think there was several lies she got caught in. It's not just that one that the tree wasn't on her property. Wasn't that just that it was painted on, but not burned on? But wasn't there also, didn't she tell the news? Didn't she tell Channel 2 and M Live and everybody that she lived in Livingston County? But you had to FOIA Oakland County, and it was Oakland County Sheriff that you had to FOIA for the body cams, where you have the actual footage of her claiming her husband is black.
Yeah, it was a deliberate attack on Livingston County citizens because the crime, the supposed crime, the fake hate crime, occurred in Oakland County, and as Larry just said, it was being investigated by the Oakland County Sheriff's Department.
Right.
Okay.
But it was the media was leading people to believe it was Livingston County. In fact, the most egregious example of that was M Live had wrote a story about it. And I don't if you know the term the dateline in a story is where was the story. The dateline was Livingston County, and so it was a setup. She was attacking not just any individual person in Livingston County, but the whole community, the whole county. It is. I mean, talk about. That's like a mass hate crime, isn't it?
It is. It's slandering the entire group, and it's ridiculous. I'm trying to pull these in. I'm hoping they don't.
And by the way, last time I checked, all those stories had been corrected.
Which stories?
They've been updated. If you went and found that M Live story today, I believe it's been corrected.
Oh, I'd have to go look because I wrote the author. And when it happened, I said, hey, this happened in Oakland County. Why is there Livingston County? Why don't you change it? And then I never heard back from him.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, I'm pretty sure the Channel 2, the Fox 2 Detroit story, I'm pretty sure that one got, because I actually wrote...
Sorry, I wasn't trying to play it.
So that'd be a good time to play because this is the body camera image or the footage of when they approached and chatted with Julia Hodgson, and you'll hear at the very end of this clip another one of her lies.
Things, yeah. So I didn't realize, Wes, when I did this that I
erased it.
No, when you handed me the drive, I'm like, oh, Wes handed me a drive. I'm like, wait a minute, I gotta figure out how to pull that shit into the computer. Let me see.
No. All right, buddy.
Not big enough. Wow, that's really obnoxious. Is that all of it? That can't.
No, it's a couple minutes long.
All right, why did that change? You just hit my button?
I didn't touch anything. Wait, you're broadcasting.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the audio on it. Is that really loud in my ears?
All right, well, I just turned it on.
right.
That's not helping. I just turned the audio down
fill
over there.
this out for me? Do you have a pen?
No.
And I'm trying to make it bigger. I don't know why it's going to that small. This is live production, people.
It's very interesting. My husband's the only black person in this whole area.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, that's very interesting. My husband is the only black person in this whole area.
So,
Yeah, which he's not.
Which he's not.
He's not.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Are the guys you said you saw at the bowl line, are they younger guys, older guys?
Probably around my age, maybe 30s.
Okay.
How do you tell both things slide
She's smooth, very smooth.
Yeah.
But the point I wanted to point was to have you. It's one thing for me to say.
Is that all of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one thing for me to say, she lied about her husband being black, but it's another to hear her say it.
actually do it? Yeah.
Right. Right. I'm trying to get it to stop it. Because the minute if I come back to it, it's going to play it again if I come back to that screen. So I'm trying to get it to minimize. It's freezing up.
Do you guys ever find yourselves just weary from all the?
Well, the technical term is bullshit.
nonsense? Yeah. There you go. Of all the.
You can
all
say it,
that,
Joe. We
yeah.
love you.
Yeah, I know.
It's a safe place.
But
There's only
does it
couple thousand people.
ever get to you where you just feel like, you know what, I want to move to Costa Rica, yeah, and live on a beach.
Actually, I honestly think that the left has overplayed the race card. And
Well, it doesn't mean anything anymore.
It doesn't.
Correct.
No, it has no meaning. It's like, racist, bigot, homophobe, and now what they're working on ruining is pedophile.
Oh, and you're a nationalist, I'll bet, too.
Christian nationalist.
Well, you are.
Yeah. You're a nationalist.
Oh, I am too. That's right. My bad. So is Wes. What about Larry? He drives truck. What are you, Larry?
I am interstatist.
See, I knew there was a twist on it. He's not a localist. So Wes, the only black guy in that neighborhood, painted on.
Do we have a picture of her husband?
The Hawaiian?
Yes.
No, we don't have a picture of the Hawaiian. Wes, what's the latest hate crime here in Livingston County? Of the high statistic of faked ones, the latest faked hate crime here.
Actually, we've been lucky that in that 2023 was the last one, so that was Julie Ohashi.
Sorry, I'm trying to fix my thing. Keep going.
So and actually, when J.D. Vance came here and spoke at Hatch Stamping.
Clearly a racist.
What it was refreshing that I didn't hear any racism, charges being better. Hey, J.D. Vance is coming to a racist capital of, Michigan.
Did you get a chance to meet him, by the way?
I did not, no.
It's kind of J.D. Vance is I think he got the benefit of Trump being here the year before, when they said, "Howell's known to be a racist community. Why did you choose to come here? Who came here in 2000? What was 2001?
Yeah,
or 2021." He goes, "Who came here then?" She goes, "Oh, Joe Biden." He goes, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. That's one of the things. Trump is quick on his feet.
Phenomenal.
And he's just he just defeats the lying liberal media. The one thing that is going that Donald Trump did, right? And I think this was his greatest feat, is he has exposed the liberal media to everybody in the country.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So everybody now knows
fake
that
news.
that's fake news.
Don't you love that term?
Fake news.
Yeah.
You are fake news.
I recruited a few
fake news people,
precinct delegates at that when Biden came into town.
Dude, that's where I met a ton of my friends now. I just was like, all right, I'm gonna drive over there, and I drove over there and parked, walked up, started engaging, talking to people. Next thing I'm like,
Is that when I ran into you? Is that the first time we met?
No,
Our friend Jane, I
decided
couldn't
to be a
be
delegate.
there.
Yeah.
I couldn't be there, so our friend, I texted our friend Jane because I was out working. I said, send me as many pictures as you can, and I'll put them out on Facebook. Right? She sent me a couple, including one that had a little video of a tractor turning a corner that said, F Joe Biden, F-bomb Joe Biden.
Yep.
The tractor turning a corner with that in its bucket going around.
Yep.
Right? 14,000 shares on Facebook.
Wow.
Pretty much, buddy. Yep, pretty much.
14,000 shares.
Yeah. Do we want to try to play this audio clip?
Yeah, so let me talk about the audio clip
Preface
for just
it.
a bit. So this is in the context of the first one, the one in 2021, the Renee Gideon.
Yeah.
And so she was being interviewed on WHMI, you know, Mike and John in the morning, if you remember that.
Yeah.
And you know, in the clip, the excerpt is when John King just went bonkers and basically accusing the whole county of being racist. And you can, well, go ahead and play the clip. And
All right, let's see if this is the audio. I'm hoping the audio works on this. Otherwise, I got to put it in a different
Did
spot.
management show him the door?
Which
Yep.
really
Okay,
the
so-
two are two separate things when you look at, a melon farm, a farmer trying to make a living, and then now we have racist graffiti on your house.
Because you spoke out in defense of an event that had become controversial over this drag queen bingo, which is now canceled anyway.
Right.
So, further, and I guess, I guess this is a good point to bring up then, because this graffiti followed the announcement that drag queen bingo had been canceled.
I had just looked at it on Facebook on the WHMI page. You guys, before I got in the shower, I was like, oh my gosh.
I am such a victim.
And then this happens. After that, I was just, I just sat in my driveway until the police got here and my son got here.
And cried.
And my husband got home. I mean, I just, I'm devastated, you guys. I just can't believe someone would do this to my house.
Well, I mean, first of all, we are devastated along with you, and I think, like I said, me personally, I am outraged by this. This is completely unacceptable, and I guess this stands as a absolute, testament to it is a physical testament to the fact that for those in this community who say that this is no longer here, that this kind of racism and hatred and intolerance is something that's in our past, and we don't. I say this is proof positive that is an absolutely incorrect, wrong statement. It is here. It is still happening. These sorts of intolerant behaviors are well within this community, and it is time, well past time, for us as a community to simply stand up and say no more. No more of this. Enough
Well,
of
John
this.
and Mike, I'm going to tell you right now.
That's the end of the clip.
I can't stand it.
That is total bullshit.
Yes.
You want to equate somebody being judged for being black as for somebody dressing up in clothing opposite of their actual gender and dancing in front of children. You want to equate the two together, and a person walking down the street being being harassed or attacked for being what God created them to be. You want to then translate that into some whack job wearing a dress who's a man who wants to shake his ass in front of a little kid. You want to equate those two dynamics as being in any way equal, and then on a public radio station to say that we're not gonna, that's unacceptable. This community is so horrible and racist. You dressed up like a woman and wanted to shake your ass in front of little kids. It doesn't equate to being a black guy in the 60s who's being criticized by a group of stupid-ass, ignorant white men in the South. It doesn't fit. It doesn't work. You're a pariah. You're a strange fucking person walking around being strange with all sorts of goofy ass colors in your hair and piercings all over the place, and you want somebody to go, "Oh, you're normal." No, it's not normal.
That's what they want, information, but it's aggravating. They say that racism isn't dead. The reason why it's not dead is because they won't allow it to be dead, because they perpetrate it and use it for their own benefit.
They want to know if that was Mama Bear or if that was Renee. You have Renee Gideon.
Yeah, that's for the.
So
that
that
was
wasn't
Gideon. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That was the question there. Also, I need to put you on notice, Wes, that apparently you painted a swastika on Jeffrey Amayo's forehead. I don't know if you know this, but he's suing us now because you've committed this hate crime supposedly by painting a swastika on his head. That's just what I'm reading in chat. It must be true. It's internet.
Well, yeah, okay, I got you. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you know, it's on there.
Why would you do that, Wes?
Why would you do that? When did you stop being racist?
Yeah, it's when I stopped beating my mother.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean that makes sense. You kind of a clean slate all together at once. So, all right. So
they like to do that, and that's how Democrats ask questions. You know, I mean, that's not an exaggeration.
When did you stop being an evil person? You're projecting.
And it's all bullshit.
It all. So what else do we got, Wes? What would you want to cover? We've interrupted the hell out of you tonight, and you're so great.
He's been very tolerant of us.
I want to comment on John King's rant there, because he's basically, my interpretation, what I heard, he's basically calling the whole county racist, and we need to own up to it. And he's basing that on a fake hate crime. Well, at the time he didn't know it was fake, but he just assumed it was legit.
100%.
But even
because he wanted to buy into the narrative.
Yes, yeah, and I tell you what, it's I shared this clip with a friend of mine who is on the other side, not a conservative, and she said, well, you know, John King, when he said that, he didn't know it was a fake hate crime. Well, I don't care if it was she knew or not. I don't care that John knew or not. He said that the whole county's racist.
The whole county,
yeah,
right.
And did he investigate?
No, he didn't investigate. And how about journalism?
And did he issue an apology when he found out it was a fake hate
No,
crime?
absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Not only that, you're in journalism. We're not quite. I mean, we fall under the category of journalists because we cover already established news. But I have a healthy skepticism of everything that I read. I like to investigate it. I like to look at it. You're making news. We cover news. Right. We comment on news. We pull up news. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Every once in a while we have
news and political
Wes
commentary.
and somebody else on that brings us something that the community was not aware of, and maybe a few school board members get censured. I mean, it happens. But but here's a group of people that are making news. They're the ones reporting this for the first time. And there's no healthy skepticism at all, no retraction afterwards, no apology, because the lie will travel halfway around the world before the truth gets its shoes on.
Right.
You know?
I
got to stop you one more time, Wes. Sorry, we keep interrupting. It says, first of all, Dale said something in the chat. I think you mean ninja moves. It's with a J, not a G. I'm not going to say the way you wrote it there, Dale.
Ninja moves?
He said ninja moves. I'm not. I think you mean ninja moves on Wes's part, because then the very next comment is, Wes is wondering why we're reading these crazy-ass chats in the first place. So, yeah. And then he also says that John King's his greatest ally, which is not true. It says, will John King be brave enough to come on the show and explain how he's literally shaped like a bowling ball? No. You know what? I do need to pre-read those before I read them on air. That was a cold read on that one.
Yes.
I apologize. Wes, continue. I'm sorry.
At least nobody's talking about Dana Nessel.
Stop. Go, Wes.
I looked into John King's departure from WHMI, and when he got interviewed by National Public Radio in Ann Arbor, and they had asked him.
They're very conservative down there. Sorry.
Yeah.
We went.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Make yourself
We
another
went
drink
2 or
there.
3 minutes without a great belly laugh. I had to do it.
You need a little shot or whatever. you drink.
Yes, I heard that interview. I think my name ricocheted around a few times.
You know, he first said that that WHMI management never gave him any specifics on why they were letting him go, and then but later in the interview they said, well,
maybe it's because you promoted.
I was told that there was a perception that I was biased. That's a quote, a perception that, and so I think to that clip that we just heard and said, hell yeah.
Wait. We're going to be ambiguous that there's a perception of your biases? No, you were biased as the day is long. Are you kidding me? Dude.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
As
he
to-
told me when he interviewed me, he called me several times. I probably still have the emails from him. He would, when we were talking about the Proud Boys, right? Because some guy jumped out of a car, flashed an OK sign, and had a mask on that said Proud Boys. All of a sudden, we're all Proud Boys, right?
Well,
And when I told him the truth, he told me, I'm tired of that answer, Larry. That's all you ever tell me. Well, because it's the truth, John. A car jumped out, a car pulled up, the door opened, some guy got out, and he flashed an OK sign. I didn't even know who the Proud Boys were at that point in my life. I had no clue.
And the left is the one that vilified the OK sign. Up until that point that the left vilified it
we
in the
read
last
that
few
on
years.
the show. That's true.
The OK sign
It's a hoax.
literally meant everything's okay.
Yeah,
it comes from an
this
actual
being-
phrase being all clear.
Right.
But it was with the O and a K instead of the A.
Right, but
C.
according to the lying liberals, this is some super secret white supremacist hand gender.
Do you know?
Hand gesture.
But the Proud Boys,
Which is the same lie that, again, John King from
Promoted,
WHMI promoted on his show.
but all the
He didn't promote the part on the show where it goes on and tells you that it was a hoax from some 387 committee.
But the Proud Boys,
Give me a second on the. I want you to do the Proud Boys. But you realize why they vilify the OK. They don't like the OK sign, because this is okay and this is sign language for asshole. And when they do the OK sign to somebody else, they know they're telling themselves that they're an asshole. Do you realize that, right? This is okay, and this is asshole. And when they do this to somebody, they're saying, they're
Actually,
like, "You're racist because you're saying I'm an asshole." That's literally.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm trying to follow their logic.
Yeah,
Now,
in German, that does mean asshole.
asshole. What's also
They
a sign
taught
language.
us that when I got when I was.
They're like, don't do that.
Yeah, don't. They were like, don't do that when you're like driving around in Germany and stuff, and don't ever show the OK sign because that means asshole.
Well, the other one's the pinky when you're on the auto. If you give somebody the pinky on the Autobahn, there's another symbol.
No, that's the gay fish sign.
Stop. You're a gay fish. Okay, Joe, you want to pontificate on the
Well, I'm going to ask.
You're a gay fish.
I believe that the Proud Boys were there to be a go-between between somebody that was picking a fight.
Yeah.
With maybe an innocent protest. Somebody went down to Lansing.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
their
their mission,
flag and the
this
Proud
is
Boys.
what I learned
Am
about
I
the
right?
Proud Boys when we investigated them. We had to investigate them when we got associated with them. We didn't know who they were,
Right.
so we had to be able to talk intelligently about who they were, and you can't do that if you don't reach out and find out who they are.
100%.
Weren't they there to
Because the
defend-
media wasn't going to do that.
to
That's their
defend-
job, but they weren't going to do
The
that.
Proud
John
Boys-
King wasn't going to do
The
that.
Proud Boys were started by, correct me if I'm wrong, Gavin McInnes, as simply a group of volunteer men that go to events to maintain the peace and be a help to whoever's there to maintain peace.
Bingo.
That's exactly what they were, and just like the what was the other group that was vilified? They're a group that goes there and goes, we're gonna be here as a somewhat of a show force, but there to be a group that embodies the peace of the moment and helps the
Right.
groups that are there. there's nothing nefarious about Proud Boys at all until the leftists get a hold of it. There's nothing nefarious about an OK symbol until the left gets a hold of it.
And I thought so because I actually, I don't know him, but I met the leader of the Proud Boys at a Lansing rally and thanked him for what he was doing.
Who was that?
Like I said, I don't remember.
Wasn't Gavin
his
McGinnis?
name. I don't remember his.
Gavin took a step back at a certain point, but yeah, it was and it was across the board. There was all ethnicities in the Proud Boys, but they were labeled white supremacists, and there was all ethnicities.
Yeah, and they're not. If you look at their uniforms, I mean, I've seen a couple. I don't know any. I haven't met any.
Right.
But I've seen their uniforms, and on their uniforms they'll have they have a vest on, and it has patches all on it.
Yeah.
And one of them will be the word fascist with a line through it.
Yeah.
And the next one will be a swastika
Correct.
with a line through it.
Yeah.
Next one will say communism, Marxism. They all got lines through it, meaning
They don't
they're
believe in
anti
that.
that. They don't believe in that.
And they don't act it out like the Antifa that says they're anti-fascist, but they are the epitome of fascism.
Well, sure.
Yes, and that
Antifa has become everything that it claims it hates.
Yeah. And who's the group in New York? They wear the little caps. The guy who's running for mayor.
That guy.
Tony Sleva or
Curtis Sliwa.
Curtis Sliwa. That's who the Proud Boys remind me of. Same thing.
Right, and they vilified him.
Yeah.
And if you've ever watched one of his speeches or heard him talk, and he backs it up with his life, I don't know him personally or beyond what I've seen in the clips, but I listen to the clips. I'm like, I'd vote for that guy.
Yeah. The only thing I learned about the Proud Boys, really, the biggest thing I learned, is they are nothing like the liberal media portrays them to be.
100%.
That's
100%.
I don't neither support them nor do I condone. I don't condone
Vilify or condone.
But they're being lied about.
It's another
like so many other.
Yeah, it's another
so
fake
many
news.
other groups. It's another fake news. It's another fake news hoax. Right.
Somebody that doesn't fall in line with their agenda is a racist. Or
the whole reason they even exist is to oppose Antifa and
100%.
BLM.
And they know that these leftists
Domestic
show up
violence.
and get violent, and so they said, we're going to show up legally and lawfully armed, and we're going to provide an element of peace and deterrence within this, within whatever.
But because they call themselves, what's the word that they call themselves? Something chauvinists.
Male chauvinists?
No,
they're not male, so you can't. They're
what are we talking about?
Proud
The
Boys.
Antifa side?
Yeah,
No,
there's a term that they call themselves something chauvinists.
Well, you better look that up. Wes,
Yeah.
continue with your synopsis. Oh, wait. We got a $20 super chat. No, we're not doing that. Apparently, the $20 super chat was a challenge to cut off Wes's ponytail and put it on to paste it on Larry's head. He says Western chauvinist is what John Bovey says.
That is correct.
Defending against. I'm supposed to reread. I'm supposed to pre-read these, right?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Talk amongst yourself for a second. I agree with that. Okay, so defending against the leftist attacks of racism is a losing waste of time. That is why they accuse. You spend all your time proving that you're not racist instead of doing anything productive. I agree with you 100%. That's why we have the opportunity just to sit down here and make fun of them for burning a swastika into a tree. Oh, it was painted on. My husband's black, but he was
Or it's
Hawaiian.
like the other people he was talking about. They spray painted their own garage with it said KKK on it. They took I think they put a swastika on a Alyssa Slotkin sign or something.
Yep.
And they claimed that their garage on their property in Green Oaks Township had been graffitied by.
The only thing that comes close that was actually legitimate was when the Harris Walls signs were spray painted to say Harry Balls.
that was funny.
hilarious.
I don't know who did that, but that was funny.
You know what? I would give them the $20 that we just got in Super Chat. 3 months. 3 months from now. 3 months from now.
Don't give my money
Jeez,
away.
Joe, he's on me.
Please.
Larry, apparently, Jeff Amayo says, you aren't black, Larry. You don't know Gipondo Farms truth? I didn't even know what that means, but I had to read it. Even if she did it herself, it was historical grief. Even if she painted her own
tree.
What does that mean?
It's historical grief.
Yeah,
It's
so
just-
that
just-
releases her from any.
Yeah, because at some point there were Nazis.
That was our fault.
That truly were painted. It was just her subconscious expressing some kind of trauma, and it wasn't her fault. Wes is like, I don't even know what the fuck he
word
just said.
accountability. You know what? Did you know that they have their own dictionary? The word accountability is not in it.
Yes. Herman Goering. Yes, that was the name. Thank you, George. That was the guy I was searching for earlier. That was a just flaming homosexual. But because he banged out a bunch of kids at home with his trophy wife, he was allowed to do whatever he wanted.
Yeah, I'm waiting for them to come up with their own dictionary and revise all the
words?
Yeah, all the words, yeah.
They're working hardcore on it.
Let me finish the story about Renee Gidding. She ultimately got charged with a felony in her fake hate crime. She, because part of her fake hate crime was that she claimed that her farm, she owned a farm, and it got damaged, vandalized, and in fact she didn't own a farm. And it was interesting reading the police report, and because the police are asking, well, you know, the police were at her house, you know, and she's telling about the damage and stuff, and then she mentioned she has a farm.
Okay.
And so they asked her for the address of the farm so they can go
check it out.
Check it out and see if there's any evidence there, you know, that
And
would
she
be
chokes
helpful.
on her own spit at that moment.
Well, she couldn't provide an address.
What's the address of your farm that you said was vandalized?
Yeah, they vandalized the address, so I couldn't. You can't read it.
So, and then she, through the help of her friends, tried to raise money on GoFundMe to fix the vandalism on the farm, and that's what got her in trouble because she was.
So she's a grifter as well as a fraud.
Yeah. But she ultimately pled guilty to false reporting of a misdemeanor. She paid a fine and court costs of $775.
That's it for being a fraud.
Yeah.
And I think that's. I mean, Jussie Smollett went to jail or went to court and was found guilty for.
He should have been billed for the police.
100%. And you know, we need to bring back legitimate tar and feathering in this county. I mean, just, you know, maybe put your ass in the stocks and go and get some paddling. You know, put your head in the stockade, right? And then have a licensed, qualified person come over and give you, I don't know, maybe 30 swats on the ass for being a big, fat fucking liar. I'm just thinking out loud, guys.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This is my brain, and I thought maybe it would deter some other people from lying their ass off if it was the potential that their ass
Well, that's
would get
probably why they
swatted.
lie, is because their parents didn't tan their behinds.
Probably.
When they
lied
when they were young.
$750. There's very little consequences for these guys.
Exactly.
You had Kamala, the Joe Biden, Kamala Harris era of go out, vandalize our, you know, whatever you feel like vandalizing with George Soros-backed money. You're answering your Craigslist ad and showing up and vandalizing.
Over 600 riots across the country.
And then when you go to
Billions of
jail,
dollars in damage.
when you
Almost
go to
$1 trillion.
jail, we're going to bail you out. And Kamala Harris is on TV proudly saying that we've got a whole fund and we'll bail them right out. While they drop pallets of bricks in certain cities just before riots. Who do we ever find out who dropped the bricks off? Do we find out these dynamics? And we got homegrown local bullshit, or these people think that they can just lie to the community. And I go, what? You know what? even if I would have given you some of the benefit of the doubt that your position, your thinking had any validity, the minute you're found out to be an absolute fucking liar and a fraud,
Yeah.
you have no quarter with
Well,
me. You're done.
Isn't it that Julie Ohashi's her name, right? Doesn't she? Is she the founder of that group, Livingston Integrity?
Yes, yes, she is.
Formerly known as also SAGE, which is supposed to mean what? Stand against extremism.
They're the most extremists.
Oh, yeah, you got.
Isn't that kind of like the Affordable Care Act or the Patriot Act? They're the exact opposite of what they are.
Yeah, there's nothing affordable about Obamacare.
Hell no.
Nothing.
And there was nothing patriotic about the Patriot Act that said we can spy on everybody. Oh, you might have gotten a call from China. We're going to tap your phone.
I tell you what, I saw a clip of just yesterday, I think, of Bernie Sanders railing against the American health care system is broken. Well, that's Obamacare.
Yes.
And if I remember right, and I do remember right, there were no Republicans that voted for Obamacare.
Not a single one.
It's a
No,
Democrat.
never.
And so here's Bernie Sanders saying, we've got a broken health care system. Well, thank you, Democrats.
Oh, Bernie Sanders.
Yeah. Well, it's not.
Oh,
I mean,
Bernie.
it's even more than that. I mean, it's like what's going on here today with Obamacare. Right now, Alyssa Slotkin, Gary Peters, and Charles Schumer have the federal government shut down. Why? Right? Because they're saying Republicans are cut spending. Right?
No,
well, what spending have Republicans cut? Because this is the same continuing
Resolution that you voted for last time.
13 times since COVID. 13 times since COVID. All right, so this is Joe Biden era spending, right, which the Republicans have not cut. Well, that's a compromise.
Well,
they haven't cut spending.
They're used to having success of telling that lie and people believing it. People aren't believing that lie.
Right.
That the Republicans
But now the
are
government's shut down,
government.
and here's not what they're telling you. As a matter of fact, they are bold-faced lying, telling people that it's not going to cover illegal aliens. Something else they're not telling you is that it's not Republicans that made the cut. The Democrats put a sunset date on their COVID subsidies for Obamacare, and those expired. Those run out in December. Right? And right now, Democrats are holding the whole country hostage. Hostage, keeping the government shut down, thinking that the American people are going to be dumb enough to buy their crap.
That's what I said. They're used to the public buying that
Are
lie.
you saying that they have constituencies like this? Play, stupid.
Trump's a bitch. Yeah, why is that? I don't know. We don't like him. That's the word around here.
Any particular reason why you don't like him?
No clue at all. I'm just going with everybody else saying.
Oh my God!
He's got to be the poster boy.
Any particular reason why you don't like him?
No.
No clue at all. I'm just going with everybody else saying.
He's got to be the poster boy.
That's
for
how the
DNC.
Democrats get away with everything.
Uh-huh.
It's right here. It's
That is great.
It's great.
Reason why you don't like him?
No clue at all. I'm just going with everybody else saying.
I love it.
No clue at all.
No clue at all,
we
man.
got to make that into a soundbite.
Yeah,
I know.
that's what I said.
It's in my X bookmarks.
We got to make that into a soundbite.
Here's another one. Let's see, this one won't be here. So they're pointing out that this No Kings carrying this huge ass thing. Who paid for that? No normal American could afford something made like
here's
this.
the thing. You have that right there.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, Democrats give a shit about the Constitution.
They don't fucking care.
When did that happen?
Because they figured out they could wipe their ass with it, and they decided
I never
that they
in
would.
my life have the Democrats. As a matter of fact, I've been in debates with Democrats where they tell me that the Constitution is a living document and it's outdated.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that you had a debate with
didn't.
the lib.
He
Because
had a
normally the swear and look you in the face and
Well, actually,
Cuss you out.
I used
And
to
call you a racist.
They don't debate.
They always do that. Yeah, I mean that comes out in the debate.
would be
either
great
that,
if they
either
would
that, or they
debate.
look at you and say, "I hate your guts."
Yeah. Yeah, that would be great if they would debate.
They lecture you on how the Bible says to love thy neighbor, and then say, "I hate your guts."
Yes. You had a recent situation with that. Let's see this. Wes, were you done with the hate crimes, or was there more to pontificate?
No, I think I've covered it.
Okay, you did a hell of a job. I appreciate you, sir.
Yeah, thank you for that. Took a lot of time and
Yeah.
research.
All right, let's do this one.
To do that.
You gotta grab a gun. We gotta turn around the guns on this fascist system. These ICE agents gotta get shot and wiped out. The state machinery, that's a full display right there, has to get wiped out. You gotta grab a gun.
You got to grab a gun. We got to take care of these fascists. Okay.
I thought they didn't like guns.
Only when they're shooting up schools. That's
But
when
you
they
know
like
what
guns.
though, and
Dude, that guy's a piece of shit.
I probably shouldn't even say this, but
Don't you do it, Joe.
I think because part of my angst for the last 16, 17 years I've been doing whatever is a strong belief that if the Republican Party as a whole stood against this, it couldn't continue to exist.
You're exactly right, Joe. But I'm going to tell you what the problem is. Is that the Republicans, us sitting at the table, at the core of all of us, is this hardcore independence, not needing anybody else to agree with us in order for us to live the life that we believe God has ordained us to live.
But I mean,
whereas the left need you to buy into their bullshit in order to justify it in their own mind because it's perverted and it's messed up. And so when you sit down, it's hard for a group of independent people who are about being, pioneers and making their own way and doing their own
and
thing.
living their life.
And living their own life to come into unity to fight the people that are opposing all of that. So I agree with you. It would be great if you get conservatives and Republicans to come together.
Well, you
but
can't
it's in
anymore
our
because
nature.
Democrats are so extreme now.
Yeah.
How do you compromise and work across the aisle with somebody who's calling you a fascist, a Nazi, a bigot,
even what
and a
Joe's
homophobe
saying,
and
but even what Joe's saying is for just the Republicans to come together.
Right.
We're so independent and so hell-bent on doing our own thing.
There are several factions.
Yeah,
within the
why do we have
party.
10 churches all across the street from each other when if all that leadership came together, they'd have a phenomenal leadership, and this guy's got this gift, and this guy's got that gift, and this person's got that, and they all work together and have a even bigger congregation that would cater to the entire community. But no, we've got to have this flavor over here, and that flavor over here, and this personality over here, and that personality over here, and you go, because the more free you become, the more independent you become, and the more you covet that independency, the more you protect that independency, and the less you want to partner with other people because you're concerned that they would infringe on your independency. Whereas you've got this communist, straight up, that's what they call it, communist, socialist, that is collectivism. That is that dynamics of the one. I just played this clip of this fucking moron that says, I don't even know why I'm out here. I was going along with the crowd. We hate Trump. He's a bad guy. Why? I don't know. I was out here. Yeah, you answered a Craigslist ad at best, and you were given a couple $100 to show up, and now you can get your money for whatever drugs or whatever thing you're doing. Drugs, or you're going to go back in your mom's basement and play the new video. Oh, I got $300 for my new video game, Mom. Mom, bring me some Hot Pockets. In my basement. That's how these fucking people are.
I sent you a couple reels.
Okay. For real?
Yep. So you're going to find some pictures there. Go past the pictures. We'll talk about them in a minute. And that's for everybody that knows, Heartland has a new Veterans Memorial. They spent a couple $100,000 and they have this new beautiful. But I think it was 250,000.
This one right here
was the number that I was told. But yep, there you go.
Some gave all, or all gave some gave all.
Some gave all.
It's beautiful. What's the significance of the bricks? Do they have names on them?
Yeah, they will. You can have your name put on them if you're a veteran.
If you're a vet.
Yep.
Oh, very
if you're
cool.
a veteran.
Nice.
nice.
Where's that located?
That is at Settlers Park, which is next door to the Heartland
Township Hall. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
If you go up to the next picture, not the accidental picture, but if you go up to the next one.
I have to.
Yep. Go past that. There you go.
Okay.
That's the other side.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Are they gonna have bricks there too? I see an outline.
No.
No.
I think the bricks are behind it on this one. I'm looking away from the bricks. The bricks
I just
are
saw
behind
the
me.
brick outline that
Yeah.
and didn't know if that was going to be.
Yeah,
cut out.
no,
Okay.
I think that's just the.
All right, next.
There you go.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've got even more than just the main four.
Our flag does not fly because
Yeah.
the wind moves it. It flies with the breath of our veterans' courage, strength, and dedication.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yes.
I
don't know why. I don't know why it just came along with it.
I want to
but-
see your Jesus stuff in my.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yep. So.
Did you
that
take
is
these
the-
pictures yourself, Larry?
I did with my camera.
I love the lens
But if-
flare.
yeah.
This looks like a little angel. Little. I don't know what that is. Why?
Yeah,
Why is this in your feed?
I have no idea. Go up one,
dude.
I don't know. I have no clue.
I didn't realize that I could do.
What's
I
that?
prefer my men live.
That's not even. I'm looking at it and it's not even here.
That's not even right.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to read it now. If you guys can't see that out there,
Okay.
it's a lady drinking a beer in a nice mug that
Yeah.
says, "I prefer my men knob liberal. I already have a pussy and I don't need another one." I mean, that is some logical dynamics there, but that's a great memorial there.
Yeah.
All right, what else did you want me to see, Larry? Never mind, I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, it's right there.
I don't know what you're showing me.
Look
Is
for
that in your feed?
It's a video. Yeah.
You sent me a video?
Uh-huh.
This is why we do show prep, everybody.
There, keep going, keep going. Keep going. There you go.
There we go.
That's the video.
I'm not playing that one.
Oh yeah, you got to play it.
I'm not playing
because-
this one.
because it made the news. Because liberals
Because
are so upset.
it's a bad meme. They don't even have his mask on properly.
It's
It's
AI.
a horrible. It's an AI meme. All right, I'm playing it because of Larry.
Yes. This is the liberals are
King Trump. That's his thing. Yeah. He doesn't even have the mask on properly.
He's not wearing the mask. He's just hanging it there.
Yeah, but then it would be off to the side like
And
Top
now
Gun.
he's dropping crap.
And there goes, oh yeah. And it's AI dumping shit on the shitheads.
Yes, apparently liberals are melting down over this AI
Well, they
video.
melted down over. They melted down over Hakeem Jeffries having a mustache come up from the bottom of the screen and a hat sombrero come down from the top of the screen.
Yeah,
because
they
it's all
melted.
about illegals.
Yep, and they are currently melting down over the new 9,000 square foot ballroom.
Commentary from Wes and Joe on that. The 9,000 square foot ballroom.
Who's proposing that?
President Trump paying for it with private money. I thought we were having a discussion down there about that.
Yeah, I think it's great.
I think
Yeah, but it's paid for with private money.
Yeah.
We were talking about the. How come I can't escape from the Trump thing?
I'll say they could have used that $9,000 to feed the hungry.
Or
Yeah, no, I think it's
take
great.
care of some illegals there. That
Yeah.
would have paid for 1 or 2 nights at one of these
If
posh
they-
hotels,
that they're putting them up.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, Lord knows we can't put them up at a Motel 6.
Yeah, or they'd never want to stay at a Holiday
We
Inn.
got to.
That's
I mean,
beneath them.
But you know why?
Why is
Because if they would have stayed at a Holiday Inn Express, they would have been much smarter in the morning and realized how much of a tool they were being to the country. And they probably went home. If they'd have stayed at a Holiday Inn, they'd go, "What are you, a brain surgeon?" No, but I stayed at Holiday Inn Express. I'm going to self-deport.
Yeah, the things the Democrats choose to melt down about. I mean, it's
Dude.
just like, and it's like,
Shit.
it's like they got this standoff going, right? And the Democrats are pouting their feet. Give us our money for our illegal aliens, or we're not going to pass the clean continuing resolution. Well, you know what? Open the government, and we'll talk to you. Otherwise,
They filed a lawsuit to prevent Trump from paying for the troops out of his emergency funds that he has full right to do.
Yeah,
The Democrats filed a lawsuit to say President Trump can't pay for the troops out of this other fund that he has full executive authority to do.
Right.
That's how depraved these fucking people
Well,
are.
they're filing lawsuits around the country
Yeah.
trying to stop him from protecting the ICE from doing their job.
Which I think is one of the most legitimate things you could deploy the National Guard to do. It is a federal facility that they're operating in. People are protesting.
But
in
it
front
was
of
okay.
Yeah.
It was okay when Lyndon Johnson sent 8,000 troops to Detroit in 1968. That was okay.
Well, times were different back then, Larry. I don't know why you got to be revisionist. Like when they wrote the Constitution, you only had a musket, so your right to keep and bear arms doesn't mean you get an AR-15.
You know, I think that the Republican Party is united as they have ever been. And I will say that.
Trump's got 92 or 93% approval rating from the Republican Party.
Yeah. And that's hopeful, and it took a Trump to accomplish that.
100%.
You know,
and I think the people that have been involved for years, like a lot of us, we pick and choose our battles. We hold our nose when we need to and walk into things. I still do. But then a lot of these new people that are not familiar with a lot of the behind-the-scenes bullshit that happens, they're coming in with just that Trumpian inertia and saying, I don't know a lot about this, but I know the bullshit that I was under the delusion of, it has faded away. You know,
And Trump right here, according to the polls, right now he's at 48%.
That seems
48%.
way low.
Well, 48% approval in a country that they're claiming is so deeply divided, and we had this No Kings. What was the No Kings thing? Was only like 1%, right?
I don't have any idea.
I saw an article on it. They said that like the turnout for the No Kings was less than 1%. If you counted up the amount of people that actually showed up for this No Kings things, it was less than 1% of the country in total. Right here, yeah. This is a InfoWars article. No Kings, less than 1% of America. The establishment artificially inflated the number of people who took part in demonstrations. It was less than 1%. And
did you see
and
the
look
dancing?
I mean, they look.
Did you see the
look healthy.
dancing moose?
I didn't see
Did
it.
you see her? Okay, she is. See her pointing at her neck?
Yeah.
That is a Charlie Kirk reference. She is a school teacher. They gave her name and where she works. She would. My kid would be out of that classroom.
I was looking for an actual
right
moose.
now.
I don't get your euphemism sometimes.
Oh.
She's referred to. She's referred to as a dancing moose now.
Well, that's what I said.
See, you got to give me context, Larry. You just can't throw that shit out at me.
Okay,
the person that looks like a moose.
Yeah, the big fat lady.
Right here.
Yes.
See how well I did that? I can shave in the mirror too.
Yeah.
Wonk. Dancing moose.
Wonder if her last name is Ohashi.
No, she's much larger.
Oh.
But I thank God for President Trump.
Oh, absolutely.
And what he's done and how he's brought the party together.
Yeah.
My angst is over the years is as you see the country going literally down the toilet.
Correct.
You're going, oh, wait a minute. We need evasive action.
100%.
We need solid, ultra-conservative. Don't waver from that.
Yeah.
That's what we need, and we need to hold our representatives accountable if they're not, because the country's going down the toilet.
Yeah.
Thank God Trump came along and he brought them factions together, and they're moving in one direction. Or is that my imagination?
No, I agree with you. Let me catch up in chat. No, I agree with you 100%, Joe. Yeah. Let me catch up in chat here. Oh, I guess I got it behind me. My bad. Wes is... Dale earlier says Singapore has public caning. Yes, we know. That one kid did a little graffiti over there and got publicly caned and had to have ambassadors figure out how to get his stupid ass back here. And he was, oh, I can't believe they caned me. You came over to a foreign country and graffitied their shit. Dumb idiot. And then Dale was responding to seeing Bernie Sanders on the TV. Bernie Sanders, he's like just a slightly higher octave of Larry's favorite guy. This Bernie Sanders is over here, or this is Anthony Fauci.
Anthony Fauci.
And then Bernie Sanders is a little bit higher, but he talks more like, listen, you're going to talk about, look, you don't like bread lines?
Oh, yeah.
You don't like the line? At least there's bread. Bread's good. You could have bread.
What happened to Mike?
You got to get those glasses, though.
Yeah.
And you know
that's
the only senator. When my wife, Wes, remember when my wife presented me with that gift on my birthday? You were there.
Yeah.
To take me to Washington D.C.
Mm-hmm.
So we're touring the Senate part of the Capitol, and my wife grabs me, spins me so I'm facing her, and I'm like, what? She said, Bernie Sanders just walked by you. I didn't want you to see him.
But he caught this wafting smell of sulfur and decay.
Yeah, well, sulfur and Bengay.
Oh, it was I said decay.
Yeah.
It was Bengay.
You were off by one letter.
Dude, I was so far off. So Cindy Shorty in the chat says people need to get over themselves and realize that if they don't get together, we'll be living under tyrannical Democrats for the next 8 years, 100%. Globalist agenda is to serve the political elite while the rest of us live like slaves, 100%. That is true. The Dems sued Trump to stop him from paying troops during the shutdown, 100%. And then Georgie's chiming in and says, the life of globalism is connected to the EU. The EU is going downhill now. Hungary, Czech, Italy are in the way of the EU. Germany are in the way out of EU. Germany is in the worst. Since we got to get George, I need you back on the show because we got to go over some of that geopolitical stuff. And then Cindy again, the Republican Party is the party for the working man, 100%. Georgie said assault weapon. Yeah, that was the AR. I said we went from a musket to an AR. You know the first designated assault weapon in any treaty?
Bow and arrow?
The shotgun.
Oh.
During World War I. In the Versailles Treaty, one of the things that they got was the Germans wanted the shotgun to be eliminated. They called it an assault weapon because you could come down with that with a lot of pellets into a trench and take out a lot of people with a shotgun. And they called it the first assault weapon was a shotgun. Correct me if I'm wrong. Shotgun's a single action. You can't just pull the trigger and empty a magazine of shells. I think I have one.
That's right, Tim.
Here, somewhere. Let me see if I'm trying to remember how this works. I'm a little novice. Oh, there it is. It's just a slide right there. Let me do it. Oh yeah, baby. Oh, that smells so good. Sorry, it's like Wes and the samurai sword. I want to all the time when I see this sword. I want to do the John Belushi. Remember the Saturday Night Live when it was good? John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd destroyed that whole. It was the front of the hotel. The guy's trying to check in, and he just he would go, "Can I get a room?" He's like,
Oh, Kenny Loggins is having a meltdown now.
Oh, God, I don't care.
For the Highway to the Danger Zone song being used in the Trump AI video we just heard.
Oh, fuck off. Dude. All right, Larry, you got to do a lightning round real quick.
It's
10:30.
Oh, is it really?
Wes has got to get his beauty sleep. He doesn't look that awesome
Yeah.
without his beauty sleep.
You know, it's
when he
nice
gets his
that,
beauty sleep,
you know,
he looks gorgeous.
Sometimes he doesn't stay with us till 11.
You know,
it's awfully nice for you to stay.
I saw
till
him
11.
during the Patriot Week on a Thursday. I was doing music there and helping out with the audio, and got the honor of saying a prayer there. And Wes walks in, and he was much more flowing with his beard, and I thought he was the sexiest dude. I was like, I love it. He had the. Would you consider it a Fu Manchu at that point, or was it just an exaggerated goatee?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know I was any different than today.
No, you came in a little bit more flowing. Your
okay.
beard your chin beard part was a little bit more flowing. I was like, dude, he looks badass, dude.
Well, you know what?
You know?
I will say this: we have been. I'm honored to be sitting here, amongst men like
Wes Nakagiri.
Wes,
you do a hell of a job, and we appreciate you so much.
He does. We appreciate you, and
I think
you
overall
for
we have
how she's serving the community.
I think overall we have a great group of commissioners, but there's some them that stand out, and definitely Wes. You've come on the show multiple times. I've had the honor of being at multiple events with you, and you are a salt of the earth stand-up guy.
Absolutely.
And I love you, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I second
and
that.
I appreciate everything you're doing for the community. And he doesn't. We were engaged in some other conversations, some other stuff that not bad stuff, but other things, other ideas I was bouncing off from. He's county commissioner. He's behind the scenes. He's got to know what's going on, and I'm throwing ideas at him, and he's giving me a little bit of pushback and explaining some of the other workings, and I'm like, okay, that's something more to think about. But then what about this and what about that? And I love that. I love that about you. I've had some great conversations with, of course, my commissioner because of where I live, Roger Deaton. I've also had some great conversations with Nick Fiani and with Jay Drick. I've touched base with a few of the other commissioners around here. Seem like great guys.
We've got
obviously we've had some great unanimous votes, so I have to chalk that up as being phenomenal. We announce on the show at the beginning every time that this is, we live in constitutional Livingston County, and we appreciate that so much. But for me, Wes, your engagement with a lot of different events around here, and your reoccurrence with what we're trying to do here, which is have fun and interrupt the shit out of you while you try to explain hate crimes. I mean, that's...
Or in Livingston County's case, fake hate crimes, which is 25 times higher than the national average.
Why is that? Because we have very little hate crimes, and the ones that we have...
We have very low regular crime.
Yeah, we have very little
high
hate crimes, and out of the ones we actually have, a lot of them are fake.
Something's wrong with that math. I don't know math theory.
You would have to show me where these other legitimate hate crimes are. Because, again, I think I told you...
No, and I say, so it's a fake hate crime for, one fake hate crime for every 12 and a half reported hate crimes. So it doesn't, the statistics don't say that it is a hate crime. It was reported. The police took a report that, hey, this is a hate crime. It's not saying it's...
Actually a hate crime.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Reported hate crime.
Right. And I will add that the FBI did investigate the swastika tree incident and determined there was no hate crime.
Right. Yeah.
So, we also have to remember that this woman, she's the leader of this hate group.
Local whack job?
Yeah, SAGE or Livingston Integrity.
By the way, feel free to
display penises at churches.
Yeah. If you guys are, if the liberal lefties happen to be watching, go ahead and clip this out and post it on your stuff, because even the negative shit that you post gets us more views. So thank you.
Yeah, but don't tell them that.
No, we have to tell them. It's full disclosure.
Full disclosure.
Full disclosure.
Yeah.
It's full disclosure. Listen? People get this misunderstanding.
Yeah, but it's like the people at the Livingston compost.
Now, see, it says the thief comes to kill, steal, and destroy.
Yes.
We ascribe, church people are really good at this, but also Hollywood. We ascribe to the devil this great intelligence and this huge diabolical plan. No, it's literally in Scripture. The thief comes but to, only to, kill, steal, and destroy.
Yes.
So when you tell them the secrets, when you tell them what thank you for posting. Do you think they're going to stop? No, because they're hell-bent on self-destruction and stealing and lying. They don't have another mode.
They don't have another
So
mode.
they're still driven to do stupid shit. Wes, are you going to say?
Yeah, no, you bring up you said compost. I'm assuming you're talking about the Livingston Post.
Yes.
I'd like to share this.
Oh, yeah, Frank Sample, yes.
In my research, I thought, well, I've looked into, MLive, I've looked into Fox News, and everybody reporting on this. So I thought, to be fair, I need to look and see what the Livingston Post was reporting because I don't read it.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought I'm going to go look. So I'm Googling around, and for anything on Julio Hashi or anything on Renee Gideon, and it's not finding anything. I get nothing. And so I said, I'm going to have to go on their website. And I did. I went on their website and used their own search function. They didn't write a single story about the fake hate crimes, which I give them credit for. I found that I was just flabbergasted. They didn't. And I have my own theory on why they didn't cover it. And my theory is that the two people that do most of the writing, Maria Stewart and Buddy Morehouse, they live in Howell. They live in Livingston County. The other media folks, like Tess Ware and her editor, they don't live in the county.
So they're not tangible.
So they're very comfortable, smearing the county.
Right, because they don't live here.
They don't live here.
Yeah, you don't shit where you eat, and if
That's
you don't
right.
have to eat, if you don't, or you're eating somewhere else, then you can take a shit wherever you want.
And
you'll figure it out later.
So I tip my hat, at least a little bit, for the Livingston Post. They didn't print that garbage.
Yeah.
And but I will also say this: none of the media companies, in Livingston Post included, printed the end result of the fake hate crime. They reported hey, this was a hate crime, but they never came back and said, oh, oops, by the way, this was a fake.
Oh, gosh,
we supported this shit.
That would not be in there.
Hey, that shows up. Look at that. I just got to point this out. Kelly says, big hug to Wes. Proud that you represent her in the county. And then Cindy, as she was heading out the doors, or heading to bed, she said the commissioners are top notch. Wes, Roger, Jay, Nick, Frank, they're all the best, doing a great job. Larry, lightning round, dude. You got like, go.
Well, we're going to start out with some national news here.
Yeah.
Yes, Speaker Johnson has been hit with a Democrat-led lawsuit over delayed swearing in of a Democrat from Arizona. But here's the problem. The government shut down. The Democrats shut down the government.
So Speaker Johnson's going to be sued.
And they're calling the kettle black when they will.
Right. Well,
Trump
what's that going to
many
do? Okay, so you
appointees that he
sue
wants
Speaker
to make
Johnson,
that they won't let him
but
do
the
it.
government, the government is shut down.
That sounds right.
It's yeah.
I mean, you're making.
Right. Now,
But it sounds to me like
speaking
they're
of hate crimes,
totally right.
A North Carolina man recounts shooting after Trump banner torn from mother's yard. Some people just snap. So this guy owns a rafting company.
Okay.
And some rabid libtard was driving through the rural streets of North Carolina.
Sounds racist
Yes.
just because he owns his own business. I mean, that's automatically a red flag.
He sees
to
a
me.
Trump flag.
Yeah.
And immediately starts to tear it down. He ends up shooting out his sunroof at the landowner.
Okay.
So,
I mean, it does sound racist to me that he owns a.
a North Carolina man says he was shot by an angry motorist. Motorist. Should say libtard, but it says motorist.
Motorist.
Who tore down a Trump banner
Yeah.
in his mother's front yard. An incident he believes reflects the nation's growing political hostility.
Okay.
Now, this happened down in the Nantahala National Forest area in the Nantahala Gorge, which is just outside of Robbinsville, North Carolina.
Okay.
Mark Thomas, who owns a river rafting business in the Nantahala Gorge, said he was relaxing at home on September 6th when a shooting occurred. Thomas told Fox News Digital he checked his security cameras after seeing a man wearing an Antifa-style mask step out of a Jeep Cherokee, look at the Trump banner attached to a bus parked near the 87-year-old mother's home. The man, identified by police as Benjamin Michael Campbell, 38, was allegedly speeding before abruptly stopping and removing the banner. Being a Second Amendment believer, I reached over and grabbed my rifle and took off out there to the porch, Thomas said. Thomas said he fired 2 warning shots into the air before Campbell allegedly got back into his vehicle and opened fire through the sunroof. Campbell then fled. So, yeah, I remember seeing that on Fox News when it first happened.
Okay.
So,
that
now,
sounded like a well thought out plan.
Yes. So, so in the Midwesterner today, we find out that Duggan's Detroit ranked 4th most dangerous city in America.
Wes is going to be there.
I don't
on election
actually
day.
know if I believe that.
Yeah.
Because
I'm quite concerned. And Larry, it's pronounced 4th.
4th?
It's going to be the 4th.
You think it's worse or better?
No, I think it's better than that actually because
you went to a Tiger game or a
no, I
game?
have to
Come on.
say that the police chief and the mayor have
Worked
and
really
the
hard?
citizens themselves have worked to
Pretty hard?
improve that city. I just drove through Detroit yesterday.
Yeah.
Up and
you only got shot at once?
And I see and I see the street lights are working. They tore down a lot of the dilapidated housing.
Okay.
There's I was just impressed with the improvement that I've seen, and I give credit actually to the citizens more than anybody else, because they had they didn't vote race in the election. They voted the
track record and the best candidate.
The best candidate.
Yeah.
Well, not only
I go, God bless him, and I wish him.
I think we're gonna have to wire up Wes secretly to where he can report live to us.
Well,
during his marathon.
Yeah, what do you
down
think?
there in Detroit?
Actually, I don't know what to think because I actually attend church in Harper Woods, which borders on Detroit, and so it's not too bad. But I will say this: in fact, it was just this last 2 Sundays ago. I was chatting with a friend of mine. His son is a 25-year-old Detroit cop. He got out of the Marines and he's a Detroit cop. And my friend said they suppress, the police and the city leadership suppress a lot of the crime statistics. I thought,
well, yeah,
that's kind of like
and
DC.
During the Biden administration,
I would,
they
I
stopped
thought,
reporting.
It didn't dawn on me. I followed the story about what's happening to DC. They didn't really think, well, I wonder if that's happening to Detroit. So I have firsthand information. That's the father of a Detroit cop saying, no, his son saying they don't.
So they're suppressing the
data.
Yeah.
The data. Okay. Well.
Yeah. All right, Larry, continue.
All right. Well, not only is Duggan's Detroit ranked 4th most dangerous city in America, but it's also ranked dead last for unemployment, with a rate 5 times higher than 5 cities in South Dakota, Vermont, and Florida.
So they're saying, when they say dead last, they mean there's more unemployment than any other city.
Gretchen Whitmer's chief growth officer bails after 2 years' attempt to boost Michigan's population.
Can't boost population when you're fucking the citizens over. We're like, hey, don't come here.
Michigan's first chief growth officer is bailing after only 2 years to start her own nonprofit, a decision just 2 weeks after lawmakers cut funding for Governor Gretchen Whitmer's Michigan growth office.
Wait, you got a growth office? Tell you what, instead of wasting our fucking money on a growth office, just do the things that would cause natural growth.
I'll tell you.
Lower the tax.
Yeah. You know, I'll tell you what. I mean, it's much different than the growth office that Governor Granholm had, because her growth office monitored that thing on her face that kept growing.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
that was the genesis of the growth office.
That's 2 quotes. I got to get that one. Here's a quarter. Once you have a rat, gnaw that thing off your face. Next time we mention Granholm. But the other one was the movie Snatch. You guys have never seen that movie here. Yes. It's a phenomenal, great movie. But there's a scene in it where he goes, the one guy responds and he goes, "This sounds like hostility, doesn't it, John?"
Yes.
Yeah, and we don't like hostility, do we? No, we don't. When you were reading the hostility, we don't like it, do we, John? No, we don't.
Yeah, the next headline in the Midwesterner.
Larry's back to the
English
Go.
The Michigan Senate voted to make hunting more expensive.
Oh, this is going to piss off a lot of fucking people.
Yes, the Democrats in the Senate have voted, but Matt Hall...
Grand Mole. That was in the chat.
Grand Mole. Yep. Matt Hall said it's dead on arrival.
Oh.
So while the Democrats try and run hunting... or hunters out of the state of Michigan.
Because that is the anchor. There's 40% of Democrats that hunt.
Yes.
In this state. Or better. But there's a high percentage of Democrats that hunt, which means they need to be in alignment with the Second Amendment and gun owners. That's the last big stronghold in this state of conservative influence within the legislature is the gun owners, and people don't realize that we have a high percentage of gun owners in this state it's across the board. It's not all Republicans,
right?
And there's a lot of Democrats that like to vote, and that'll piss off a lot of fucking people across
the
lines.
The Michigan Senate has approved a pair of bills to raise hunting and fishing license fees for the first time in over a decade, but Republican leadership in the House says the plan won't move forward. Senate Bills 276 and 277 would increase the cost of most hunting and fishing licenses and add a $5 surcharge dedicated to youth recruitment, habitat restoration, and conservation education programs. The bill also ties future license rates to the Consumer Price Index to keep pace with inflation.
Oh, fuck off. That's some bullshit. Here, you know what, Larry, give me those 3 things. You know what, how you promote youth hunting? Don't fuck with families and let their dads go out and hunt with their kids. My grandson's not even 5 years old, and he's got his own bow and gets out there and shoots and hits that target, okay?
Yes.
Do that. What's the other one? Conservation?
Yes.
Support great groups like Ducks Unlimited, and there's a number of other groups out there. They're the ones who want to maintain great wetlands because they hunt every year, and they want more game to be able to hunt. What was the third one?
Let's see.
I said conservation.
Conservation education programs. You've got that one. And tie to future license rates to consumer price
No,
index.
what was the 3 that you said? The 3? I'm going back to your laptop. Read it right there. Youth programs. Habitat restoration.
Yes.
And conservation education. You know how you educate people on conservation? Go to a Ducks Unlimited event. Go to a gun club event. You're going to get all the education you need. We don't need another fucking government agency to tell us something that's common sense. Free the people to do their own shit. Larry, continue with your
now, the next headline from the Midwesterner. Whitmer's, Michigan. 72% of Michigan high schoolers unprepared for college or career. 72%.
I will weigh in and say 2 shits about a college, but all shit's given for a career.
Yes.
You're unprepared for a career, and I've seen these kids.
Yeah.
They're completely unprepared for careers.
Right.
We don't know what summer jobs are anymore. Right. Most kids out there. My kids do.
No,
but most kids don't know what a summer job is.
But they know all 500 genders.
100%. They got cat ears, and they got all sorts of other goofy ass shit going on, and they know how to use a litter box at the school bathroom, and they know how to protest, and they know how to tell somebody what they don't like until you press them. Why don't you like it? I don't know. I'm just following what everybody else is doing.
And the last story on the Midwestern I'm going to cover tonight is the headline: Gretchen Whitmer hits Wisconsin, New Jersey, and Florida during her Anywhere But Michigan tour.
Wait, scroll down. Is this literally the name of the tour?
What's the name of it?
No, but that's what the Midwesterner is calling it.
Okay.
Governor Gretchen Whitmer has had a busy few days stomping for Democrats and promoting her new book across multiple states. She wrote a book?
It can't.
It was how I framed a bunch of upstanding citizens to pretend that they were going to kidnap me, but nobody likes me. That was the name.
That is the name of the book.
No.
Anyway, How to Destroy a State?
Kamala Harrison wrote a book, and the benefit is crayons go along with it.
Oh, there you go. I had no idea that Gretchen Whitmer wrote a book, nor would I know why. But Big Gretch trekked to Fort Arkansas, Wisconsin, where she jawed with several dozen Democrats who gathered at Cafe Capre to hear her take on elections there and elsewhere in 2026, according to the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel.
She should be back here because her little girl just quit and doing growth. She should have come back here to do growth.
Right. But all this and more at Midwesterner. That's the Midwesterner.news.
.news.
Yes.
.news.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So Governor Whitmer wrote a book. So it pains me. It's like, why? How to destroy a state, how to be the worst governor in Michigan history.
Larry.
How to run people out of your state and have nothing to show for it.
Those are great titles. I think we should take away from it that we do have a governor that knows how to read.
Yeah.
Oh, I take that back.
Can
It's probably
you?
a ghostwriter.
Yeah.
No, but she can. But her husband can put his boat in the water.
No, he was turned down.
Oh, was he
was turned down? Yeah, that's how come that whole story came out.
I remember that because
he wasn't turned down. They allowed him.
I thought they allowed him.
He came to and he wanted to bring his boat out of storage, and the people at the storage facility were like, "Dude, get in fucking line. Your wife shut this down." They did get their boat out, but they were met with some opposition there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember because it was still early. It was still April, and I wasn't sure if I was going to put my pontoon boat in yet. And then Governor Whitmer said that we couldn't, so I put it in the next day.
I will confess right now that she told me I couldn't buy paint, so I stole a can of paint. That's not true. I did not. But if I did, I would just claim that I was Antifa and I was going to throw that paint on a damn conservative.
Yes.
And I would have no repercussions whatsoever.
Yes, I did.
I would do a
Speaking of
hate
throwing
crime.
paint, I saw
Reverse hate
Jennifer
crime.
Aniston joined an Antifa event thinking that she would be welcomed, and somebody dumped a bucket of black paint right over her head.
Oh, hell yeah. Wake
Really,
up,
they
man.
did?
And I mean, it's a shame, too, because I'm a huge Jennifer Aniston fan.
Yeah.
It's just too bad that she's politically brain dead.
That's the funny thing about actors.
Uh-huh.
They're paid to pretend to be something that they're not.
Yes.
Right.
And that is the definition of hypocrite. And it also means that they're much more comfortable in being an actor because then they get to assume an identity, read the script, remind them of how they're supposed to act. But then when they get out in public as themselves, they don't have a full anchor and grounded dynamic to operate from. And so they gravitate towards what doesn't feel right.
Well, they're listening to their own press.
Yeah.
That inflates the actresses and actors field.
Yeah.
And they think that
Stroke
and
their
they're
ego.
adored, and
Yeah.
they think that they're
Right. And the sad fact is most of them live either very disconnected lives, disconnected existences, or they live I find that very few, if any, people who espouse liberal ideas actually live liberal lifestyles.
Exactly.
They live as if you didn't hear them espouse their so-called beliefs, you would think that they were conservative by all of their activities. They
How many houses does Obama own?
They don't pay higher. They don't go out of their way to just write extra checks to the government, even though they want people to pay higher taxes. They don't go out of their way to make sure that community events are fully. No, they don't do any of the things that they espouse unless they think it'll give them some emotional advantage within themselves to feel better.
And they give the least amount of money.
They're the shittiest ones. Not only do they not give the amount of money for charities,
right?
They are the shittiest tippers ever. If I don't tip 25%,
you know what?
Because I appreciate the work that somebody's doing with me. No, I don't tip when I go to the drive-in, or not the drive-in, but the walk-up counter at fast food.
Yeah.
Because it'll ask, and I go, what did you do? Right? I could have done it on the computer.
I say,
Great.
if you can't afford to tip, you can't afford to eat out.
Right. When I got a few restaurants that I frequent on a regular basis, and I go, and I look at them sometimes because they're people that I know, and I go, is that, if I type it in and I go, all right, here you go, and I go, is that enough? And they go, yeah, and I go, okay, just making sure, honor them. My mom raised me for several years as a waitress when I was real young, and I appreciate that working occupation. Trump, when he came out and said, no tip on tax, or no tax on tips. I was like, that was awesome.
That takes place in January, by the way.
Hell yeah, and it couldn't.
No, it took place in January.
Was it retroactive?
Yes.
Say that again.
It's retroactive. It started last January, as far as I know, from my reading of it.
Okay.
So when you file your taxes this year, if you're paid like I am by the hour, your overtime pay will come in a separate section on your, is it a W-2 that comes at the end of the year?
Well, W-4.
W-4?
Well, W-2, yeah. You fill out a W-4, and then you get a W-2.
Yeah, your W-2 will come. You'll have the difference, right? The difference between your overtime and your regular base pay. So to make it simple, we'll use $20. If you make $20 an hour, all right, your overtime pay is going to be $30 an hour. The difference is $10 an hour. So you'll receive tax credit for $10 an hour for that $30.
Okay.
So at the end of the year, that'll come back to you.
So for you, Joe, anything under, what is it, 25 on tips?
Huh?
What was tips? What was the cap on tips? 25,000?
Yes.
Okay. So for you, the last time you sold a house and they slipped 100 in your hand as you did closing and said, we really appreciate you working your ass off.
I don't have to claim that anymore?
You don't have to claim that anymore. No, even if you claim it. No, now you can be honest with the government that's honest with us.
Oh, okay.
And you can claim it now.
You really?
And it won't be taxed.
I don't know
up to
that I would say the
25,000.
government is honest.
I don't know what
you know what?
Who is this guy?
I don't know.
I think you got a fever.
I mean, I like Donald Trump, but that
feel a
doesn't
little
mean the
flushed.
government is honest with us.
Well, we'll see. All right. We didn't dive into No Kings as deep as I was expecting to, but I don't give a shit. We had a great conversation.
I would say this about No Kings.
Yeah.
That we do have No Kings in Livingston County because John King's not around anymore.
Yes, Nakagiri. Wait. Oh, where's Nakagiri? Chop that shit down.
That's a good one, Les.
You ever hear him do his Asian accent impressions?
Stop.
I just did.
It gets really bad.
No, my brother does one. My brother does one. I wish I could do it. I can't. But he talks and it's like he's got what do you call your sidekick with the puppet and.
Oh, ventriloquist.
Ventriloquist, and so
you just can't move out there. You want to do it,
and you don't see his mouth move. Oh,
right.
I kill you.
Oh, he does.
Sorry. Oh.
Does the Jeff Dunham?
Yeah, and it's amazing.
You ever seen his Joe Pesci?
Stop.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna close out the show. You gotta be.
You gotta do the
Listen,
one.
listen, you fuck. I don't give a shit what you think over there across the table from me. I'm not doing impressions for you all night. I'm not a fucking clown here for your amusement.
Yeah.
What do you think I'm here to make you laugh? Is that what it is? I'm some kind of clown for your amusement? Huh?
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Just do impressions?
That's great. That's
Listen, in your expert opinion, Miss Vito, is the prosecution correct? No.
I love that movie.
Dude, my cousin Vinny's awesome. You would not think that is an Oscar-winning movie, and it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a kick-ass movie.
great.
All right.
I'll tell you what. The way she wore that bodysuit at the beginning, that's an Oscar every time.
Yeah. There was more to it than that. Marissa Torme. What do you got, Joe? This is your final thought?
Oh, no, my final thought is...
Everybody brings... You know what? We've got to get to the place where we're making more than $20 a show so we can start doing multiple episodes a week.
Yes.
My final thought is thanks for having Wes come out tonight.
Oh, thanks for
Wes is a
inviting me.
badass, dude.
Yeah. And
Wait. Did it come down to invitation? Because I will get the cane that they use in the Philippines and beat the shit out of Larry for not inviting you. There's an open invitation. Wes.
Well, no, he invites me quite a bit, but
you accepted this one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I want you inviting him every week, and if he goes, I'll accept that one. We love having you. But go ahead.
Oh, and then, we were just going to talk martial law. It's actually the military commander of any particular area that has unlimited authority to declare martial law.
Okay.
I thought I saw something on there regarding that.
Oh, the protests. I was talking about
and the Insurrection Act.
Yeah.
The president, in fact, does have the right to declare it, to address an insurrection, if there's domestic violence, unlawful conspiracy, or in any state, the president can declare insurrection law. In case
we didn't get to play the clip tonight, but De Niro was talking about that, and he said we got to be very. What's De Niro's voice? Now it sounds to me just like an asshole. So I'm trying to picture it.
And that's a shame. I used to like him.
I used to like him
too.
He used to have a lot of things that he would say, and it was funny, or it was very influential. Now he's just a dick.
Yeah.
That's what he is. Is a dick. He's kind of a dick. Anyway, so yeah, he said we got to make sure that we don't necessarily piss the president off too much, because then he might instigate the Insurrection Act, and we can't have that because then we'd all be in fucking jail. Can't do that. So yeah. De Niro, piece of shit.
That's it. And
pick a color and sign my paper. Oh, pick a good one. Are you sure?
Yes, this is they say a woman's color, but I like it.
Yeah, a gay pen.
Purple?
Yeah, love purple.
I would think pink would be the.
Now pink is
yeah.
If you're really macho, you'll sign in pink.
You know, pink's the color they use in the jails to keep them from rioting.
Well, I would like to also thank Wes for coming to the show and discussing Julio Hashi and the
other whacks,
the wacky liberals in Livingston County and their fake hate crimes. I'd like to point out that election is just a few days away now, especially in Howell, where a guy by the name of Jeffrey Amayo is running for city council. I want everybody to know that Jeffrey Amayo is the Livingston Strangler, and that the police reports that are posted on my Facebook page, which is pinned to the top. So for easy access, you can read how he strangled his girlfriend 8 times in a Livingston County hotel in a single evening. Possibly breaking her hand and doing damage to her pretty little face. I'll just put it that way.
How do you strangle somebody?
Larry, that is complete slander and libel and everything else if we didn't have the police report that said what you just said.
Yes, and then also on the same post, it's also posted on there, is how he how shall we say his wife met men for things in the bedroom, and then robbed their pants. And Mr. Omayo got busted with the bridge card at a Kroger buying groceries.
I'm going to give him a pass on that.
Yeah. So
she did all of that.
So
and she just said, "Here, honey, get us some groceries."
So my question to society.
He never looked at the
Here's
card.
my question. I want the listeners and the viewers to go onto my Facebook page to read the police report and tell me, did Jeffrey Omayo pimp out his wife?
See,
who else is running it? I mean, is it?
There's unfortunately, I don't have the names of the other people that are running. I'm just telling people, when you see the name Jeffrey Omayo, vote for everybody else.
Okay.
It makes that's what the perfect sense is. I am unaware of anybody on that ticket that I would vote for. So at this point, it's anybody but a Mayo type of thing. You got to stop this guy. I mean, prior drug convictions, and another police report that I have posted is where he grabbed his wife by the arm, pulled him to her, and spit in her face.
That happens.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand your animosity towards that. I need to know.
It's just a bad way to be.
Simple question, Larry.
I mean, this guy filed a brief in a drug case proclaiming his devotion to the Lord and how he's been saved, right? And then he runs around Livingston County, and I think Wes could say something about this.
Don't throw Wes out there, Wes.
If I'm wrong. But didn't he stand before the commissioners and tell us we had a white supremacist and Nazi problem?
Yeah,
in Livingston
like
County?
Yeah.
It's like, well, only when Julie Ohashi makes a fake hate crime.
So I want to know, do you think, would we categorize him as Snap-on, Craftsman, Cobalt, or Chicago? Because he's a tool no matter what. I just want to know what brand.
Yeah.
Chicago's the really low-end brand at Harbor Freight. That's what I would pick.
Yeah. I really wouldn't insult the Chicago brand.
They're doing, you know what? I'll tell you what, Harbor Freight has really upped their game in the last few years, and they got some good stuff over there.
Yeah, well, you've seen the hoist in my garage. Have you seen that?
Is that Harbor Freight?
It's a Harbor Freight.
I'll tell you what, my buddy in the parking lot at hockey the Monday, he was like, last night, he's like, he worked for me for a couple years. He was my salesman and would be on the job site. And he's, dude, Honda sucks. He's like, we keep buying them Predators. I goes, the Predator is the complete, they took the plans from the original Hondas and they're making the original Hondas, but it's the Predator label. And now the new Hondas that they're doing are shit. And the old Honda model that they're copying completely in the Predator brand, he said they're phenomenal. They're lasting forever because they're going back to that, That's the way it works. Are you pushing buttons, Larry?
No.
Because we're caught between.
Yeah, if you want that, it likes to do that every now and then.
Dale says Wes is the man. I'm not reading the next line. And then Kaseup said purple's my son's favorite color too. So whatever your gay agenda is, saying that purple's gay, it's rejected, Larry. Wes, I need your final thoughts, my friend. You've commented on the fake hate crimes here in Livingston County, but you're also doing a kick-ass job. What's your final thoughts for this evening, my friend?
Oh, my final thoughts? I enjoyed the discussion. It was lively. I should come back more often.
You should.
There you go.
We love having you.
We need to book him. We need to get a schedule where we could have you once a month and know when
next
you're
time you
gonna
want to come on, I'll throw Jeremy off the show just to get you on.
I like his impersonations.
He does. He likes having a thing to do over here. Every once in a while, we got to get some scotch going in this place.
Yeah, what was
Maybe
it?
not that one.
Remember that gay Asian you were doing? Yeah.
No. I don't remember that one. That's crazy. I mean,
He must have been drinking that.
I was drinking. I did get a call after Sunday's show, and they're like, "Yeah, you threw me under the bus, and you didn't say my name, but you made
Threw
a
me
comment."
under
And
the
I was like, "Oh shit, I did." Well, I was drinking by that time in the show.
Yeah.
My bad. I didn't mean to do
At
that.
least you didn't throw the prosecutor under the bus.
I love our prosecutor.
So do I.
Did I say something untoward in that area?
Not her. The last prosecutor.
I did say
you misspoke.
I misspoke.
Yes.
I totally didn't mean to say that about our. I said like George
He pulled
Soros.
me aside the other night at the dinner. I didn't see him there. I was walking by a pole.
Yeah.
He grabs my shirt. He pulls me over. He's like, "Hi, Larry," and it took me a second to realize it was David. It was David Reeder.
Yeah, no, I see his posts every once in a while on Facebook and stuff like. No, I love
Yeah.
David, and I felt so bad about that
Yeah.
because I just said, a lot of these George Soros
prosecutors
like we got here.
He did. That's what he
I
said.
did.
And we were talking about Ingham County.
So what I meant was, we were talking about Ingham County. So like one of these George Soros appointed prosecutors that we've got here in the case that we're talking about.
Yeah, not here.
And it came off
Not here in
as
the county, but it
here in
came
the
off
county.
like we have here.
And I was like, and then the next day I was like, "Hey man, why you gotta be a dick?" I'm good.
Why
I
is
was like-
everybody?
I was like,
why is my phone blowing?
I was like, "Oh shit!"
Jay Drick called me.
Yeah.
The next morning, I got Jay.
Oh,
Drick
Jay
on the-
called me. I was like, "Did I say it that way?"
Hey, Larry,
He's
I
gonna
didn't
call,
say it
he's
that
gonna
way.
call me
podcast
because
last night.
when I say Jay Drick would drop the F-bomb or something, I don't remember what my comment was, but Jay, I love you, man. It was all a joke. Just
Wes, give me your final thought. We're gonna keep interrupting because we love you, and if you go.
I gave you my final thought.
Oh, you love coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, Larry, we need to have Wes on a reoccurring basis. We do have a huge calendar board in the back
I
room.
bugged the snot out of him.
He does. Yeah. When I have, stuff, this it was a compilation of research I've done. I thought it was, it merited sharing with
100%.
Yeah. So
But
like
the first hour and a half of our conversation tonight, it's just the main topic, and you've got great things, just like Joe and all the other people. When Patrick's back, when he's done dealing with his mom, when Teddy's back, when we have George on as a guest, when Kelly hopefully gets settled and does this. To me, it's less about the topic. We can be passionate and researched on a lot of topics, but it really, to me, it comes back to let's engage in a conversation, and sometimes, and I try to keep the conversations oriented to what I already know that you guys are at least familiar with, so you can chime in. It was great talking about, the data center and some of that dynamic, and we're bouncing stuff off, and I think that's awesome, because that's at the end of the day, this is what I want to do on this show is have these great conversations. People go, "Oh, you need to do this or you need to do that." I go, the top podcaster in the world is Rogan. Rogan doesn't have an agenda. He has a guest. And he does a little bit of research, or he's already familiar with them, and that him and his guests just talk. They're just doing a public conversation.
they love the back and forth.
They love the back and forth, and they do. And I'll get clips in my X feed or on Facebook. People will send me messenger stuff. It'll be a clip of Joe, and it's just either Joe's pushing back on a guest, or he's sharing his idea, or they're doing this or doing that, and it's just a great conversation. You can go all over the place, and you can, and that's what we got to. I think we have to have this dynamic re-injected into our society. I think it's one of the pluses of the internet and all this other and everything, the change in media, the change in TV and how it works, is this overabundance now of podcasts. And I say overabundance, not limiting it. There should be more, but this abundance of podcasting and all this stuff, because the vast majority of it is a conversation with either the audience on a one scale, but a couple guys sitting there at a table and they're talking. And what it's doing is it's re-injected into our society the idea of community dialogue. And it's getting us back to our founding fathers that would come together in the churches and the lodges, the taverns.
You ever had anybody on the left here?
Yes.
A couple people.
Yeah.
They're
We
afraid
had that lawyer in for that. What was that thing? What was that?
She said she was a Democrat, but I went through a whole list with her.
Yeah.
I love her to pieces. Denise. She's phenomenal.
Yeah, but what were you working on? What was the podcast?
It was the PUD.
The PUD.
She came in twice from the PUD, and you know what? She got a bunch of backlash. Not from anybody in our normal audience. Leftist people on her side.
For coming
on the Democrats said, "Why are you going on that conservative podcast?" I go, we had a phenomenal, great conversation about something that affect our collective community.
Yes.
It was not political. It was social. We were trying to figure out how to protect an agricultural society that she desired to move. She literally moved into my wife's best friend's former house. We found that out. She's like, "Oh, I live here," because we're figuring out where she lives in proportion to where this whole development was supposed to come. And she goes, "Oh, I live in this house." And we're like, me and Tanya are like, we were at a wedding at that house because Tanya's best friend, who was her bridesmaid when we got married, and Jim, who has become my friend too, we've known for 17 years, he built that house. And we've been over there to have dinner multiple times. And it's a badass house. She's like, "What?" Yeah, no, it's phenomenal. In fact, I need you to book her. Do you ever? We'll work on it.
Yeah, we'll work on that. I do want to. There's one final thing I want to say before we go.
You had your final thought.
I know, but
Larry,
I forgot
God
to say this.
bless
I know,
you.
I forgot to say this. And I want to say tonight we talked about fake news. We talked about the fake media. And we played a video from John King, who used to work at WHMI. All right. Since then, there has been big improvements at WHMI. That's it.
I agree with that. I'll take that.
I did not want anybody to think that we were making any digs at the current WHMI. That it's John King in the past that did all the damage to WHMI.
100%.
I would share this with you, and I'll say I largely agree, but I could cite a specific example recently that I thought, oh, that's...
Yeah.
The WHMI ran a story about the safety of roads in Oakland County. And the title of the story was, Oakland / Livingston and safe roads, or something like that. That's not a quote.
Yeah.
But so I'm reading the article, and I would say 99% of it was ranting and raving about Oakland County's safe roads. 1% that it mentioned Livingston said pretty much, "Oh, by the way, Livingston has even better roads." I mean, that's basically what it said. It's like, I thought, wow. So WHMI is a Livingston County radio station, and they're reporting, it's good that Oakland has safe roads, but then in like a 1 or 2 sentences, they say Livingston's even better. Is
that a dynamic of having a couple of the producers out of county?
I don't know.
The isolated.
Well,
it was reversed the way it should have been reversed.
It should have been. Yeah. In fact,
By the way, there's a couple counties, if you venture outside of our awesomeness, that might have some decent roads too.
Yes.
No, I agree with you.
I sent that.
Not Wayne County.
I sent a link to that to the head of the executive director of the Livingston Road, Livingston Road Commission. He sent me a message. Thank you for that.
That's what I mean. That stands. I mean, it's about the same as turned out for the No Kings rally. Is about 1%. 1% of us getting praise for good roads. 1% of the douchebags being
for
profiled
not burning the cities.
Yeah, burning them down.
For not burning the
Well, fun show, guys.
Fun show.
Joe, thanks for coming
KSEP,
back.
Kelly says, guess who's going to be a public teacher in about a year? Don't make us guess, just tell us. WHMI on-air staff came from WYCD.
Oh, country.
I will say this. I'm waiting for them to get their identity back.
Yes.
At WHMI. They had a lot of leftist influence there when the John King era.
You know what I think is I think they
But
need to make me an offer and make me their program director so I can come in and clean out everything, start playing some good music.
I don't totally disagree with that, Larry, but you do realize when you change the programming there, it can't be all Journey and Ted Nugent, okay?
It can't be all Journey and Ted Nugent.
It's got to be more than just Journey and Ted, but
is there more than that?
Is there more than that?
Yeah. You can throw some Boston in there, some Chicago in there.
I love Boston,
some
Chicago, some Foreigner, REO Speedwagon, some Styx, some Genesis.
Oh, Styx, Genesis,
yes. And what about, I mean, even some of the older stuff like...
you got to have Zeppelin.
Do you remember Three-Man Electrical Band? Signs everywhere.
Yeah, you got to have Zeppelin in there. You got to have the Who, the Guess Who.
Yep. you gotta, are you kidding me? Jefferson Starship.
Did you like Electric Light Orchestra?
Oh, hell yeah. ELO's awesome. Supertramp then. If you're going to do some ELO, you got to do Supertramp. Hell yeah. Queen's phenomenal.
Got to throw some
about,
Queen in there.
Michael Jackson.
No, Joe, you just stole the whole vibe.
He's the king of
he is.
rock.
There's 3 or 4. He was the king of pop.
I mean,
You're right.
there's some Michael Jackson songs like Thriller.
I apologize to the fans out there. You had to see that. I usually refrain myself.
You know what? You know
Michael
else was
Jackson
a really good band?
George Strait. I have a very eclectic.
You know what was a really good band? The Damn Yankees.
Choice of music.
That was a super group. That
Yes.
was a total super group.
That was, and of course Ted Nugent. It was Ted Nugent, and it was a guy from Styx. What's his name?
Stop.
There's a guy from Styx in there, and I believe guy from the Babies, John Waite, was in there. I believe.
Right.
What's that guy's name from Styx? Why can't I think of his name? I can't think. Him and Nugent are really close friends.
Right.
They really are, and they're two opposites. Because Nugent's a really good conservative, and the guy from Styx is like a far left wacko.
Sean, right?
Hold on. I'll tell you his name. I know his name when I read it. I just can't think of it for some reason.
Kelly is running going to be a school teacher, public school teacher. That's awesome, Kelly.
I was going to Kelly's daughter or Kelly herself? Tommy Shaw.
Tommy Shaw. I was trying to say Shane.
Yeah, Tommy Shaw.
Tommy Shaw.
Yeah. And then another one was Bad English. Do you remember that?
I do.
That group.
Yeah,
they had When I See You Smile.
And
then you've got Pour Some Sugar on Me. That is an awesome song.
Dude, yeah, as long as we're not playing, mixing in some Mariah Carey
who sang Pour Some Sugar on Me? That was, didn't they also do Sister Christian?
No.
No?
Those are two different. Night Ranger is Sister Christian. Pour Some Sugar on Me was...
Def Leppard.
Def Leppard. And it was they had a contract where they had to have 10 songs for the album, and they recorded that song in about 10 minutes just to finish the album, and it became one of their biggest hits, and they fucking hate it.
Hey, Wes, what do you want to bet?
Yeah, Journey has a song story like that, too, and it's Open Arms.
What do you want to bet these two don't know the name Neil Sedaka?
Fucking
I don't know who Neil Sedaka is.
Come on. What are you saying?
Yeah. See?
Do you know that Engelbert Humperdinck is a made-up name?
Yes.
Oh, that's funny that you should mention
What's
that.
his real name?
Raindrops are falling on my head.
No, because if Saturday, if we do karaoke.
Yeah,
if we're going to do karaoke.
I'm going live with that shit, and you're going to sing with me.
And so, Engelbert Humperdinck. So I do karaoke, and it's been a while at the the Eagles. They have karaoke Friday night.
See, I think what we should do, Jeremy, is you and me get hired to do a Saturday morning show on WHMI.
100%.
Saturday mornings with Larry and Jeremy from 9 till noon.
100%.
Every Saturday, and we'll triple.
And I'll do.
Their ratings will go through the roof, and they will only have to have the cuss button for you, because I've proven multiple times that I can go hour. People think they go, does he have to cuss all the time? I'm like, no, I could actually go a long time. Can you go an hour without being hateful? Let's try that. Can you go an hour being extremely nice to people that are mean to you? I'm just saying, it's easy for me not to stop cussing, but I like it.
And when you take over the management of WHMI, you're gonna need somebody to spin some records. I'll be in charge of that.
Yeah,
you'll have a very eclectic choice of music,
dude.
No Neil Sedaka.
You don't like Neil? I love my calendar girl.
Listen, if you haven't watched,
every
I'll tell you
day
this:
of the year.
one of my absolute favorite music-oriented movies, if you haven't watched it yet, is Pirate Radio.
What's your favorite
Philip Seymour Hoffman
one-hit wonder? Bands that had a one-hit wonder. If you could pick a song.
One-hit wonders, man, that's hard because
the Monkees.
No, they had
some good music.
two.
And so did the Partridge Family.
Yeah. I'll give you one that I can think of off the top of my head. Billy Thorpe.
Billy Thorpe.
Children of the Sun.
Yeah, that's a good one.
He wrote that whole album about aliens coming, and it's just that one song off the album, Children of the Sun. You know? Do you guys know that one? Children
I do not.
That one, no.
Spirit in the Sky is a good one.
Right,
Oh,
that
there
was
you
a
go.
one-hit one.
Spirit in, yeah, he was the one. He just passed away recently, within the last
Question
year.
mark in the Mysterian. He lived up in my area in Tuscola, where I was at.
Did he really?
Yeah.
The Jewish guy?
Question mark? The Mysterians? My stepdad knew him.
You're talking about
Oh no, it's not
Spirit in the Sky.
No, I was thinking the other one.
Yeah, I can't remember.
96 Tears.
Yeah, I can't remember that guy's name. But he was Jewish.
Right.
But he wrote Spirit in the Sky. He was interviewed on that once, and I remember seeing the interview, and he explained, well, all my friends are Christian, so I just went with it.
But George Strait tops them all, though.
George Strait?
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that. I mean, I'm not going to listen to it with you, but I can appreciate that you appreciate that.
Norman Greenbaum.
Yes, yes.
Spirit in the
Oh, there
Sky,
you go.
Norman Greenbaum.
Spirit in the
But
Sky.
if you're going to talk about country music, you know who I like?
Who's that?
Gretchen Wilson.
Ooh, okay.
Jim Wilson.
You know what?
She was smoking hot.
As much as he was heavily commercial, I'm a Garth Brooks guy.
Yeah, are you?
Yeah, I like, dude. And Reba, The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia.
Reba is
and
amazing.
Fancy.
Reba is amazing. She just keeps on ticking.
Who was the one I love?
Garth?
The Rainy Nights. You remember that one? That was an old song.
That's not country though.
Yeah.
I love a rain. I've heard that on regular classic
rainy night.
Yeah.
I love a rain. It's a
You never
windshield
heard-
washers.
You never heard Children of the Sun? People of the earth, can you hear me? Came a voice from the sky on the magical night. In the color of 1,000 sunsets, traveled from the world on a slivery night. He's all over the place, dude. Yeah, I love that. You guys got to listen to that song. It's a phenomenal song. One-hit wonder. All right, we got to wrap up. We're way past somebody's bedtime. Let's see. She was, the Carpenters. Therone has an alternative bump music Fridays. He does. Love it. She was friends with my youngest daughter, Eddie Rabbit.
Eddie Rabbit.
Yes, yes.
Eddie Rabbit. I love the rainy nights.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love the rainy nights. That's. I don't think he was like strictly country.
And then
he was like in the middle.
Elvira. Do you remember Elvira?
I hated that song.
You hated that? Who sang that one?
The Oak Ridge Boys.
Oak Ridge Boys. Yeah. The Okra Boys.
Okra Boys. But if we do take over we got to have a little bit of. We don't have to go Alice in Chains, but we definitely got to have some Pearl Jam, and maybe
Alice
some
Cooper's got to be in there. You got to hit the Detroit. You got
Yeah.
Alice Cooper. You got Mitch Ryder, the
Alice
Detroit
Cooper,
Wheels. You got Bob Seger.
I was living with my brother at the time. Alice Cooper was on the scene, and I'd wake him up. I'm living in his house, and I'd wake him up every morning about 7 o'clock with elected. I want to be elected. Alice Cooper. Now, you know
I don't
Alice
remember
Cooper,
that one.
right? Don't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
And
I
that
remember
song-
School's Out.
School's out.
Sang it every summer.
forever.
My one of my previous rhythm guitar players was. We were in here messing around, and Grand Funk. You're right, Dale. Good
Grand
job.
Funk Railroad, awesome.
But we were in here, and he's like, he starts playing a little slower, and he's like, and we totally bluesed it up and slowed it way down. He's like, I'm 18 and I don't know what I want. And we slowed it way down. I was like, dude, yes, let's do it. He played the riff, but he played it slower, and he's like, let's blues it up. Let's slow it down and get a little bit more bluesy into it. I was like, hell yeah, dude. Youngst worked at WYCD. You know the funny thing about Grand Funk, their three biggest hits, Locomotion, which was a cover, Long Way Home, the big one. Can everybody, can you hear me?
Yep.
That was a phenomenal song. And then their third biggest one was
I'm your captain.
The one that he redid. Kerry Linger redid it. Not Kerry Linger. Yeah. Anyways, he redid it as a Jesus song, but it was originally the Some Kind of Wonderful. Some kind of wonderful, yeah.
Who sang that?
Grand Funk originally, and then the lead singer. It's not Kerry Linger. That's from Kansas. Is it Kerry Linger? You guys gotta help me out. I'm Your Captain. Yes, but it's I'm Your Captain / Long Way Home. I think is the official title. Anyways. Dude, this is what we could sit here and talk music or movies or all sorts of shit all night long. Wes is getting tired. Yeah. He's got to put some beautiful oil in that to keep that hair looking great. So we got to let him go. I don't know what you do with your hair, Joe. It seems like it's pretty simple.
You know,
Larry has to work on his beard. Do you put any oil in your beard, Larry, or do you shear it off so much that you don't even care? My Jazzy wants me to be Count Dooku for Halloween, or for her Halloween party a week after Halloween. So I'm like, I gotta let it grow and do the shave and all like that, and have the Count Dooku. His beard comes down to not quite a really deep point, but like that.
But is it gray?
It's like silver.
Is it?
It's Count Dooku from Star Wars. Did you know Star Wars?
No.
You're a Star Trek fan. You're gay.
I'm a Star Trek fan.
So
I never really watched Star Wars. Thought it was.
You know what?
Thought it was, I always thought Star Wars was too
important.
fake. What? Star Trek?
We
cannot
leave
the original or the
Next Generation.
Pie.
The original stuff I watched it.
Pumpkin
growing
pie.
up.
We never
with
took
my dad and stuff,
Yeah.
but it was the Star Trek: The Next Generation stuff is what I really got into.
We never took a break.
Oh, yeah.
And Joe feels slighted about the pumpkin pie.
Well, let's go eat some pumpkin pie.
Hey,
Good
everybody.
night, everybody.
We're going. Like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. We appreciate everybody. All the chat was great tonight. Thank you again for Wes Nakagiri being here. Thanks for Joe for filling in 2 weeks straight in a row. Hopefully Patrick called me today and was talking about his mom. Continue to pray for him as he gets his mom settled into her retirement place. Teddy was dealing with was dealing with midterms and sent me a text early this morning. But appreciate everybody out there. Go to, if you don't want to do a super chat, which is a little late to do that now, thank you for the super chat that was in there earlier, John Bovey. Go to thealexjonesstore.com, thealexjonesstore.com /this is my brain. Buy some awesome products on there. I use the methylene blue. I use the turmeric gummies. I use the Shilajit gummies. I use the Brain Force. I use the which we've needed this last week. The they're for allergies. They're the quail eggs. Why is the name escaping me? I just looked at the bottle downstairs. Anyways, there's a ton of great stuff on there. Check them out. That does help support the show. Always super chats. And above all, give us a like, share, subscribe to the channel. And we will catch you guys. Hopefully this coming Sunday, Larry's going to line some stuff up. But either way, we'll see you next Tuesday. Rain, snow, shine, whatever the hell weather comes in other than straight up tornadoes, which some of our fans get mad if we don't shut the show down during a tornado. They think that we're going to get hurt, and I appreciate that. Yeah. All right, love you guys. See you next time.
This is my brain.
Dad, that's an egg.
Yeah, that's an egg.
Honey,
Dude.
that's an egg.
Seriously.
That's an egg.
It's a metaphor.
It's still an egg.
That's an egg.
I would challenge you.
That's an egg.
I know my brain is not actually an egg, okay? It's a metaphor.
Metaphor or not, that's not your brain.
It's just an egg.
Una cerveza para mí. My egg is my brain.
Can I at least have some bacon, maybe some sausage with that egg, though?
Oh, I want some bacon.
I want crepes.
Have some bacon and pancakes with that egg.
I'll take it with cheese.
Extra large brown cage-free eggs.
Can I have your brain with hot cakes?
A little sausage and a little toast and potato.
That would be great.
Does it have antibiotics?
I don't know, man. I'm not good at this shit.
Well, they gotta be able to resist some diseases.
You resist the disease.
Has it got any hormones?
Maybe. It's cage free.
Vegetarian?
Maybe.
Are they vegan?
No, I eat steak.
Never apologize and never explain.
Never apologize.
Never apologize and never explain.